Hey, welcome back to the episode Instant Ramen Podcast. I'm your host, Juan. As always, my co-host is here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm how I always am.
Chilling like a villain?
I'm just like wicked mellow, you know?
Sick. You know who else is wicked mellow?
Who is?
Fucking Mirai, that bitch.
Okay, yeah. So this week we're going to talk about a little film that just came out in the United States of America called Mirai. Mm-hmm. It's made by a young man named Mamoru Hosoda.
Nice.
And we happen to enjoy all of his work.
Except for this one. That's not true. That's a scissor.
Like a hot take right here.
Like, holy shit, Juan, you lied to me. You set me up to fail.
Wow, I can't believe, you told me,
we sat
days
there.
ago.
We cried at the same scenes. We held each other's hands, and now you lied to me.
Yeah.
To make you look like a fool. Like a fool.
I take back everything I made out with you that night.
No, we're going to talk about Mirai.
It's true.
It's just super good. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too into it because I for sure want to talk about it. But I enjoyed it, and I know you enjoyed it too.
I enjoyed it.
So it should be fun. Stick around. We're going to talk about what we thought about it, and then for sure spoil it. So
Or don't stick around, because this show fucking sucks.
Yeah, okay. So stick around if you want. Stick around if you want. But I'm saying we're going to for sure spoil it. So please watch the movie somehow. I don't know if it's still in theaters, but
Nope, you guys missed it.
Sorry, man.
It was there for 2 days. If people liked it, though, go ahead and let us know, and then we'll try to get it back in theaters for maybe a second showing.
For sure. And you know what you can do for sure is do the right thing. You know, what you do is you watch it illegally online, and then when it comes around, you pay your dues, you go to the movie theaters, you give them the money, right? Like you're going to do.
That's honestly what I'd like to do.
Because you're a fucking thief.
Yeah.
Anyways, how you been, man?
I'm so fucking good.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So I went ahead and I Christmas shopped with my roommate, who I'm only going to call my roommate.
Oh, God. All you do is talk about your roommate. My roommate did this. My roommate did that. My roommate did that. If you like your roommate so much, why don't you just fucking marry her, okay?
I'm trying to, but it's not working. Yeah, she's already marrying.
Somebody else?
No, just in general. She's like too busy marrying right now,
marrying.
so I don't want to get involved with that.
What'd you guys buy?
A Christmas tree and some ornaments and a bunch of lights, and we got a skirt that we put it on, and then there's...
So for people playing at home, he bought a Christmas tree, ornaments, some lights, and a tree skirt.
Yeah.
Anything else you bought?
Yeah, and a tree stand.
Tree stand.
And a tree topper.
Okay.
And some nuts. But that was just because we were at Costco and I wanted some nuts.
Almonds?
No.
Peanuts?
No.
Walnuts?
No.
Pecans?
No.
Oh, fuck. Why do you... Okay, it's my fault for telling you like to guess stuff.
Yeah.
Are they chocolate covered?
Well, I wasn't talking about those, but yes, I bought those as well.
I don't know. Fucking cashews.
No.
Pistachios.
No. That's the most no.
You don't like pistachios?
No, I'm just saying that one's the most wrong.
I feel like I've gone through all the nuts.
Yeah, you have.
And I didn't... Was it a mixture of a bunch of them?
Yeah, it was all of them. Except for pistachios and walnuts.
Oh my God. What a piece of shit.
Well, you were on the right track, and I wanted you to get there. So, anyways, yeah, we did some Christmas decorating, and the place looks cute as fuck, bro. But it was mostly because Sierra put on her final touches of fake plants. Yeah,
the femininity thing or whatever.
Exactly.
Stuff that you and I lack.
Yeah,
we'll never be a mother.
Yeah,
we'll never know how to decorate for Christmas properly.
Yes, that's
just
fucking true.
Facts of life.
Yeah, and it's like Hanukkah right now, but I don't really recognize Hanukkah as a holiday on account of me being so Christian in my roots.
Your name is, I guess,
Christian Fur. Christian Fur.
Triplet.
I got nothing. I don't know, man. My family's always celebrated Christmas. I don't know why, but I'm not like a religion boy. I don't know if you could tell from... just
the way
who
you
I
talk,
am. Yeah. But
the
religion
vulgar
to me,
stuff that comes out of your mouth. Yeah.
We met each other once and we were like, yeah, I get you, but like, man, I'm going to keep doing me.
Like
and then religion was like, yeah, man, I'll keep doing me too. And then we high-fived, kissed each other, and left.
And then made out.
Yeah, and then came back together and made out. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, cool. So you just bought like stuff to decorate and stuff. Nothing like
we did some fancy decoration.
Do you know Christmas shopping, dog?
I'm pretty much done with Christmas shopping. I was trying to buy some birthday present stuff. There was a wicked sale on ThinkGeek where everything was half off.
Nice.
And I couldn't buy anything on there.
Did you hear about the
website got all fucky.
Did you hear about the huge sale that Cards Against Humanity had?
No.
They did a 99% off sale on everything.
Damn.
To the point where they were selling $20 bills.
Shit.
They were also selling like a really nice Ferrari for like $600.
Why?
They sold an authentic halberd for like $20 or whatever. I don't know why. I think it was just some sort of promotional thing. At the very bottom was a disclaimer. It said like, hey, you're probably wondering how we're making a profit. And it's like, we're not. We'll never do this again. This is horrible. But they didn't promote it. The thing is, people had to be on it like, wow, look at this. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good for them, right?
Wow. That's super neat.
Super marketing.
Similarly, Bath and Body Works had a 6 sale on candles.
Oh my God. You're such a candle dude.
I am. But I was pissed off because I got an email and they were like, hey, check it out. $9 candles today. Fucking eat this shit up, motherfucker. And I was like, sweet, I will. But first I have to get ready for work. And then if I have some time on my break, then I'll go ahead and buy some candles. So then I'm on my break and I'm checking and it's like, yeah, sold out online. Go to a store.
Damn.
Like, whoa, okay, whatever. And then I wasn't really caring too much. I'm like, I mean, I'll go to the store and I'll check out what they have. But then I started caring a lot when my coworker texted me and she's like, oh, fuck, they have baguette candles.
Ooh.
And I'm like, what? They have candles that smell like bread? I'm there. Fucking count me in.
It's not the weirdest thing. Yeah, you've had way weirder things.
Yeah, I've had weird stuff, but I've never had a candle that smelled like bread. So I got excited, went to the store. And the store was like, hey, go fuck yourself, you nerd. We don't have any bread candles, you fucking nerd.
The store said that to you?
Yeah, they did.
Fucked. What did you end up getting, though?
I don't know. I got 4 candles, but they're whatever.
They're not baguettes.
Yeah, they're not. They're just like some yummy stuff or whatever.
I'm sorry, bud.
It's okay. I'm kind of sad, but it's okay. I'll get over it eventually.
Yeah, it could be worse.
I know that we all move on. Whenever we have hard times in our life, we can move on. We can get past it.
Yeah, Butte strong. We can do it.
And other than that, y'all know about Spyro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, finally playing the Reignited trilogy is a dope. I really like it. It looks beautiful. It feels good. They changed like one little tiny mechanic thing that like everything feels different. It has different like physics and whatnot, which is fine. But then they changed one like mechanical thing, which really fucks with me. In the old games, you used to be able to jump over and like glide and shit. And then at the end of your glide, if you're about to fuck up a jump, you could press triangle, which normally cancels a glide. And it makes you do a little hop up type animation thing. And you could still move forward like a tiny bit when you're doing that. So if you time it right and you like almost smash into a wall and you're like at the ledge, you could just do a little hop up onto the platform.
Oh, cool.
It always felt really satisfying. But in this one, it just makes you drop when you press triangle. And it like does an automatic hop up sometimes. So the game feels way riskier because it's kind of out of your control. But it's also like fucking cool for anyone that hasn't already played it that way. Because you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Oh, I made it. Tight.
Nice.
And it's fun. I don't know what else, man. I haven't been doing really much.
Cool.
It's just been a lot of work. It feels like it's been a lot of work. I don't know if it actually has been, but...
Feels like it.
Sure fucking does. So I'm a little tuckered out.
Bummer, man. But
it's all good. I want to know how you've been.
Well, school's wrapping up. I think next week's dead week. So, it's Monday today. I had to go to school, talk to people. And because of like the whole situation of like Thanksgiving break and this fire that happened, we lost a week of
there was
school.
like a whole bunch.
Yeah, our teacher was like, hey, cool, man. This project that you're doing, it's due next Monday. And we're like, fucking awesome. No one's ready. He's like, we're doing critiques and people are just really nitpicking everybody's stuff. And it's like, yeah, just redo this and redo that. I'm like, dude, that's like not going to happen in time.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's crunch time essentially. And I stayed up really late last night working on something. And I'm going to stay up really late tonight working on something. And it's just going to be like that for like the next week or two. And it's going to really be really shitty. So hopefully these next 2 weeks are like super easy for the podcast. Because if not, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm just going to come and be like, blah, like I always do, but more,
Hey, what are we talking about next
Exactly,
week?
I don't fucking know.
Because there's a show on Netflix right now that's like something like Mask Show.
I'd be down if it's dubbed. I'll do it.
I don't know if it is or not. I haven't looked into it. I haven't looked into anything. What do I even fucking do for this show?
Anyways, so that's kind of where my life is right now. It's just a lot of trying to finish a bunch of things in time, and And, it's not the end of the world because, if I don't get it done, I don't get it done. And I get it graded, but I don't get, the full credit. It just...
Yeah, you just do what you can.
Exactly. So I don't really stress out too much. I know all my grades are pretty solid. So I'm not worried like, oh, I need if something I can't like I can take a massive hit and be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to. I'd like to finish all my stuff, but if I can't, I'm not gonna like, fucking die or whatever, go through some sort of depression. It's like it is what it is. Semester's over, take a break, back at it again. So that's just kind of how I feel. I know some people really stress out when it comes to school, and I mean, I feel like if you slack off in the beginning and you're at the very end, your shit all comes back to bite you in the ass. It's kind of your fault, but. I mean, I stayed on top of everything, and near the end, I mean, maybe my work's not as good, but
fuck it. I don't need straight A's.
Exactly. What can I do? So yeah, that's that. I mean, for me personally, I don't know, man. I've just kind of been. There's no real like social life going on right now.
Yeah,
like,
you're just kind of drifting through.
I've been wanting to see my friends, like my other friends, but like meet up with them. But it's like it's just not going to happen, and
it's too fucking hard sometimes. Man.
And I want to visit one of them at work. I'm just like I'm trying to like look at my clock and like my watch, my watch that I don't have. I'm like, do you have enough time to do this or whatever? And I was like, I won't catch them on a shift or all this stuff. And it's like, fuck it. I'll just make it up for them.
Yeah.
During break, hopefully be able to see them. I did horrible in fantasy football. This was the last week of regular season.
Boy,
it's 13 weeks. I think I won 3 games. I went 3-10, which I think placed me in second to last place.
Ah, come on. At least be last.
I know. No, last is the worst. He's 2-11.
11, yeah.
So that's pretty bad. I didn't even break 100 points, which is so embarrassing. And then Ryan scored like 164 points, destroyed me. But the Chargers won against like the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a really close game. They were down by 16 points at one point in the second half, and they came back and won 33-30. And it's the first time in history that the Steelers had ever been up by more than 14 points and lost the game. So they were 200 wins, 0 losses, 1 tie. And they lost. I was like, what? This is great. Go fuck them. And people who like sports will be like, oh, there's some really bad calls. I'm like, yeah, there's always bad calls in sports.
Well, yeah, sports fan, whatever.
But like exactly. But when the call's in your favor, you don't say much. You're just like, well, it wasn't my call. It was the ref's call.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it's somebody else, you complain. It's just kind of the cycle of it. So I'm pretty happy they're doing pretty good. So hopefully they can keep winning, and it'll make up for the fact that my fantasy football team ate a huge shit burger this entire season.
True.
And I've been total trash.
Yeah.
So there's that. Besides that, last night, like I was saying, I've been watching a bunch of anime because I have to work. So like I'll be like put it like on the corner of my computer screen and I start working or whatever.
Right.
So here's the stuff that I watched all of yesterday. I rewatched all of Kids on a Slope. I watched Tamaka Love Story.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, because I like it. I watched half of Erased.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, nice. And I watched 4 episodes of Food Wars and 2 episodes of Haikyuu.
Shit, dude.
I did all of that and while I was working. So
you're going to big boy town.
I mean, I got to watch something. I wanted to watch more Haikyuu and more, what's it called? Food Wars. But I stopped because I was like, no, it looks like stuff's getting interesting. And even though it's dubbed, I'd kind of want to look at it, especially for Haikyuu.
You don't want to fuck up, yeah.
And I remember watching like the first episode of Haikyuu, so I was like, it was kind of like a refresher.
Yeah.
And the second episode, I was like, I don't remember this very much. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to remember the third. So I was like, I might as well just stop and.
Yeah. But honestly, the first episode, the worst episode.
Second episode,
a little bit better. But you really don't get into things until you start like getting all the players together, and then you start feeling like, okay, now I get the dynamic of everything. Okay. I miss that show. It feels so fucking good to watch it.
Yeah, it feels good to watch now. One thing that did happen, though, is I was watching a lot of these on High Dive.
Yeah.
Shit crashed on me so many times. Yeah.
High Dive?
It was several times where I was like, it would just like kind of stop and there'd be like a little notification like on the thing, and it would read it and it said something like it said like an asterisk. It would say like robot voice, and then say something went wrong with, the thing or whatever. And below it says like the monkeys must have stopped running on the wheel or whatever. Hit this to refresh or blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, And it happened multiple times. I mean, like more than 6 or 7 times throughout the entire time I was watching this
I wonder what's going on. Because like when I was watching through Tamako Market, I had no issues.
That's true. That's really, when I watched Tamako Market also, no crashes.
No.
But I was watching all this stuff and like within a day and it crashed several times. So I'm thinking maybe like they just like, the streaming was down or something, like the server was down, or
there had to be something
like something was buggy, or they're working on something and they couldn't like turn it off and be like, all right, we're just gonna leave. We're gonna fix this for a day. They're like, maybe they're trying to fix it while it's running, and maybe that's what fucked it.
I just imagine like the CEO of High Dive sitting there at his desk, just like, all right, shit's good. You know, we're finally making a fucking move on anime. We're getting some good shit next season. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. And then somebody bursts in the door and they're like, holy shit, this guy's watching too much anime. He won't fucking stop. And then it goes into high alert.
That reminds me of like the SNL skit where they have like musicians that work at Pandora or have you seen that? It's so funny. They'll be like, oh my God, the fucking, the Willie Nelson channel went down and they'll make singing Willie Nelson song or whatever. They did that with Ariana Grande and what's his name? Bruno Mars.
Okay.
They were pretty fun. In the end of Bruno Mars's like bit, like he died. Like they're like, oh, thank God Chip saved the day. And then someone's holding him and he goes like, he's dead. They're like, he sang too much. His little heart gave out or whatever. It was pretty funny. It only works if like the person's a good singer though. So
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. But anyways, that's just something to say. I enjoyed all the stuff I watched on High Dive. There's no like complaints. I mean, obviously I picked them out. I looked them. I seeked them out and watched them. Yeah. But yeah, they did stop a lot. I had to watch Erased on Hulu, which
God damn it.
Yeah, which is okay. I like Hulu.
God damn it.
Damn it.
Yeah, no, Hulu's legit. You know, they got the movies or whatever.
They got the Disney Channel movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's. Oh, and I actually missed anime this week, so I'm behind on. I think I'm behind on everything except for Bunny Senpai.
This is like a reverse version of me last week.
I actively watched the most recent episode. Like I have to see the show.
You know, I can't fucking miss it, dude.
It's so
I gotta see. Good. I gotta see Your Name 2.0.
Yeah, Your Name, but like. Also Freaky Friday and also Groundhog's Day and also like one where there's two of them. I don't know any movies. Is it called The 16th Year? No. What's the Disney Channel movie where the guy makes like he makes like sea fishes or whatever? Yeah. And he makes a clone of himself?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Brink.
Shut the. Why do you led me on? You made me believe like you actually knew what I was talking about.
No, man, it's actually Luck of the Irish.
That is also not it.
Quince?
I think it is Quince.
No, that's the one about quintuplets.
Oh, what the fuck, Trip? Look it up.
Okay, I don't fucking know what to look up because I've never seen it.
Look up Disney Channel movie.
Disney
Channel movie.
Movie.
Clone movie. Like
clone. Boy clone himself.
Don't you fucking dare tell me it's Eddie's Big Cook-Off because I know that's not it.
No, it's 101 Deeds of Eddie McDowell.
No, it's not.
The Other Me.
The Other Me. That's it. That's
easy.
That's essentially what one of the episodes of fucking Bunny Senpai was.
Yeah. Then what's the one where somebody gets clawed in the chest by a spirit tiger?
I think it's like an episode of like in Game of Thrones or something like that.
So weird.
What?
So weird.
I don't know what that is.
Her spirit animal was a panther?
Don't know what that
is.
Her
parents were like country singers and they all traveled across the country and went to these weird ass little towns.
And they solve crimes or whatever?
Kinda, yeah.
Was that really a show?
It was great. It was like the best show on Disney. Come at me, Even Stevens. Go fuck yourself. Even So Weird was my jam.
Even Stevens was a shit, man. I love that show.
I think it's weird looking back at like all the shit that I liked most as a kid because I'm like, yeah, all the shows with like female protagonists were usually my favorite unless it was like a cartoon. Then,
Kim Possible was the shit.
Kim Possible was the shit.
She's so
I'm
good.
just saying like I didn't have any preference, but it always wound up being live action shows with women.
Have you seen The Famous Jet Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah. So the plot was like he was
took me half a minute, but
he was like a high schooler, but he also worked on a TV show where he was a spy. And then every now, for some reason, in every episode, whatever episode he was working on the show would teach him a lesson about his real life. Like, they would just he'd learn something from this character to bring into real life.
Yeah.
That guy killed himself. Way to really bring the mood down, right?
Do you want me to just go off on more sad shit?
No, I'm cool.
The celebrity. Okay, too bad. We're already there.
Oh, don't do this.
You know Frankie Muniz?
Yeah, he's got the brain thing.
Yeah, so he got really into like competitive racing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he wound up getting enough concussions to where it started affecting his long-term memory.
I thought he had that before that. He had like a disorder where like a brain disorder where he had like he had bad memories before he started racing.
That might have been the case, but then it got more intense after he had raced. And
it was like a genetic thing, I think. It was like
sure. Yeah. Long story short, he didn't remember any of his time
on Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, at all.
I remember
he
that.
was rewatching it.
That's great.
So that he could. It was like sad. He like didn't remember any of it, and he's just watching all these things that he doesn't have any memories about. And
okay, I guess that's sad, but that is a dream that you and I have. Forget stuff so we can watch the shows again.
Yeah, but not my own life.
He's living
I don't want to miss my own life.
What you're saying is, you don't want to miss you watching other things. That's your life, essentially.
Okay, I've done a lot of things in my life just because that's all I talk about on the podcast. I've also masturbated like a lot.
You don't want to rediscover masturbation?
No, I want to remember it forever. just remember all those little moments.
You're like, no, I know how I like it. It took me years to perfect the technique, and now you're just like, how do I? Just like mashing stuff.
No, it's the worst. Yeah, now I know that I have to hang upside down in the shower.
You gotta tighten enough to you can release yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, I don't want to forget about that. Also, do you remember The Land Before Time?
Are you trying to make me sad? Because Ducky's dad killed him, or whatever.
Yeah, I
know all these sad things. Don't try to.
Yeah, but then her grave says, "Yep, yep."
Fuck. That is pretty sad.
That's really sad.
I know you told me that in the past.
Yeah,
that is
fucked up.
I'm not gonna cry. You're crying.
That's fine. And
I'm trying to sad me out one more time.
I'm like, no, I was just going to talk about your name. Good Will Hunting?
I watched Good Will Hunting the other day.
Okay.
I saw Robin Williams. So sad.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I saw actually? This is a sad thing I saw. This is a weird episode.
All right, you guys. Mirai? Not sad.
Not sad. Not sad. Yeah, it should be sadder. Take notes, Mirai.
That's true.
No, I saw this, like, it was a post where someone did this thing where they collected the last known photos of people before they passed away, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, someone took this photo while someone's, like, Amy Winehouse was, like, getting coffee the day before she died or whatever. The one that really saddened me was Robin Williams. He didn't look like I remembered him. He looked so old and so like, beaten down. I was just like... And then to know that he killed himself, that really fucked with me. Cool thing to watch, though, I guess. Fuck this day, man.
All right. Well, this has been our episode on
last
episode. If you don't hear from us, that's fine. We're fine. Don't worry about us.
Yeah. If we're not answering the phones because we're too busy being happy.
No, I'm just trying to find new ways to masturbate.
Have you tried your feet?
Have I what?
Tried your feet?
I haven't tried that, but I've thought about it a lot.
I don't think I can get there. Hold on. Here,
no, exactly.
You do it for me. I'll do it for you.
All right, perfect.
Nice. What we've learned so much today.
We've really grown as people.
Teamwork.
So anyways, you haven't watched much anime, but how did you feel about Bunny Girl Senpai?
I liked it.
Those of you that don't know, it's what is it called? It's like Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Yeah.
Good. Why do you ask me? You know the fucking name of it.
Yeah. Well, I just had to make sure because I'm like, it feels right, but I could be wrong. I don't know anything that I talk about ever.
Yeah. So in this episode, I think it's like 7. Maybe it's 7.
I think it's 8.
7 or 8, but I
think it's 9.
No, it's like 7.
There's a chance it's 9.
It's 7 or 8.
Okay.
It's the episode where it
was 9.
I think it was 7.
No, because it took 3 episodes for the first arc, 3 episodes for the second arc,
and then it took 2 for the next one. It was 9. I know, actually, it might be more than that because look, so 3 for the first, 3 for the next, right?
Oh, right. This is like the second episode of
so it's 10.
The Swappy Boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Swappy Boys.
Wait, did I not?
I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Unless it came out like today or yesterday or some shit. I don't know. I watched it on Saturday, Splatterday.
Yeah. No, it was Saturday because you and I hit up each other and that was the last episode that came out.
It was episode 9.
Fuck, how'd we fuck this up? 3 episodes for the first one.
Yep.
Is it 2 for the second?
3 for the first, 3 for the second.
And then it's 2 for the girl.
And then we've only gotten 1.
No, I've for sure seen 2.
Dude, you could tell me whatever you want to fucking tell me, but look at this cruncher.
Fucking bolt. I just dropped both our phones.
I was like barely holding on.
Pick it up.
Oh, come on. All right, there you go.
Okay, so
you got 3, and then you got 3, and then you got 2, and then you got 1.
2. Fuck. This makes no sense. I swear I saw more.
Why did you watch the same episode twice? That's what I want to know.
Are we sure that the second? Yeah, well, that's pretty solid. So I'm looking at this like,
I don't know what.
Let me look at my phone. Maybe my phone is different.
Holy shit, your phone's from the future. Oh, Are you Phil?
It is Future
of the future.
That was a bad show.
Yeah, so am I.
Phil of the future. Hold on.
Okay. I'll just talk about other things that I enjoyed watching as a kid. I used to wake up really fucking early to watch Monster Rancher, which I've talked about on the show before, but I didn't tell anyone that I also woke up really early so I could watch Jumanji the animated series.
That show sucked. You know what it was, Trip?
What the fuck? I love Jumanji.
You know what it is? It's, I think at the very end of the episode with, like, you know...
Yeah, we find out.
We see it
the big
happen, yeah.
and we're like,
So that's why...
fuck, we got two girls.
That's why maybe we think that that there's two of those episodes. Anyways, I saw episode 9.
How was it?
It was good. You know,
okay, good.
The newest thing is a body swap, so Freaky Friday.
Big old Freaky Friday.
Between our main characters, love interest, who is Bunny Senpai, and her younger sister, who we kind of saw a flash of in an episode before it, but you know,
she's like an idol.
Yeah, well, she's like an up and coming idol. She's working in like some sort of like pop group or whatever.
Yeah, she's doing dances.
She's her half sister. Yeah. She's like they look alike. I would say they look alike.
I would too.
One has blonde hair though and blue eyes. And,
I would also say that.
And her boobs are smaller.
I wouldn't have said that.
Is that where you drew the line?
Well, that's the part that I don't remember.
Well, I mean, she's just younger than her, so she's not as developed. Idiot.
That's racist. First off. Second off, check your privilege, bro.
What?
And third off, I love all shapes and sizes, so I don't see in that fucking world. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, you don't see shapes and sizes. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't see through that lens, bro.
Yeah, so, and we see like the two of them trying to figure out what the issue is and how they fix it, you know, just kind of like we do in every episode. I don't remember how this one ended. I don't think they had switched back yet. They're still
definitely not, but they're starting to see that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Hashtag Macy Gray, hashtag as told by Ginger.
Oh, I hated that show.
What the fuck?
That show's animation looks so fucking ugly.
It did, but also like, come at me, motherfucker. It looked like Rocket Power.
It looked, and I hate the way Rocket Power looked.
Brother.
You know what?
Brother Bear.
Not only did I hate the way Rocket Power looked, I actually actively did not like the show.
Yo.
I think the story development was shitty. I think the characters were lame. I really hated the slang. They tried to make like being like a surfer dude cool, and I was like, cool, I'm in Northern California. It's never gonna fucking happen for me. Woogity 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 woogity.
Dude, but the fucking 900 McTwist or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't even fucking count because it was a tennis ball hit the thing and spun him more.
That's true, but that shag rug was so shaggy.
There was an episode where they brought in Tony Hawk, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Also, there was like a hurricane, and it really let me know that hurricanes are some like real shit to deal with.
Can we get back to the thing at hand?
Yeah, we absolutely can. So Bunny Girl Senpai, 10 out of 10.
Thing at hand. As told by Ginger's garbage, so...
Oh, come on, man.
Back to Bunny Girl.
It's great. They all went out in the forest, and then the little kid was being a murderer or whatever. And
I think that Bunny Senpai is still for sure my favorite show.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a great-ass time.
Big issue, though.
Big-ish.
A lot of the figures are super sexy. I can't get a figure of super sexiness. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Honestly, me too. Right? I don't know what it is. Because, like, yeah, I mean, I've looked up at my figures of all these, like, little girls and shit.
Hold on, say that again.
I looked at all my figures of these little girls and shit.
Yeah, I don't know, that's what I thought you said.
Yeah. And, like, none of them are sexy.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, they got, like, a little bit of sass. Like,
some of them have some skin showing, but none of them are inherently, like, provocative, you know?
No, none of them are trying to be like, hey, look at my titties. And, dude, some fucking... Okay, so the Bunny Girl Senpai, she's in a fucking bunny outfit, which she's only in for, like, a small, very small portion of the show.
Almost none of the show. Like, the intro and the very first episode for all of 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and that one time where she helps him study.
Yeah, which was episode, like, 5 or some shit.
Yeah, and she only... No, that was episode, like, 3.
Okay,
she needed him to go to...
I thought that she... whatever.
No, it was 5. Sorry, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, because she needed to help him study so he could get through school or whatever. Yeah, and this was later. Because they did study before that, but she drugged him then. And she wasn't she wasn't all up in her feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, long story short, it makes me really uncomfortable when figures are like they'll be wearing a dress and they're like walking or something, but then it really, really accentuates the crotch. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I don't think it makes me feel uncomfortable because, like, I don't, because these characters, especially if the characters are drawn like that, like,
sure, yeah,
this character, they're very voluptuous, they're very like attractive, so it's like they're supposed to be that way. The thing that makes me uncomfortable is, having something like that and then someone seeing it and then them just assuming like you're a dirty pervert. But like, you don't understand. This show is there's a little bit of edginess. There is fan service for sure, but for the most part, this show is fucking bulletproof. It's solid. It has the bunny part is like we said, almost non-existent.
Totally, yeah.
And that's the issue. That's what because I'm not embarrassed.
I know.
I'm not because some characters like there's times they make characters who aren't sexy. I'm like, and I'm like, don't do that, you know?
Yeah.
But if a character's sexy and they put them in a sexy pose, that's fine. But the thing is, I don't want to have that and someone be like, wow, look at this fucking horn dog. Like, you don't get it. There's plenty of sexy figures out there, and that's not what I'm here for. Like, I'm here because it's a solid fucking show, and that's why I can't get the show. And I'm not gonna get a figure of the dude. Like, what the fuck?
I agree. Well, if he was doing some cool shit, but like
he was like running,
his whole thing is like he's just a fucking guy.
He's a plain Jane essentially. He's just like the medium between everything else. You know, he just happens to be that fucking lightning rod.
I think that's one of the issues with the whole show is that, well, at least figure worthy things, none of them do anything. You know. Like, the only figure I think that I have that doesn't do anything is Yotsuba, but she's just a fucking dude.
You know, the only figure that probably could... I mean, actually, there's two figures from that show that probably could be passed off as not very sexual and be appropriate, but figures I wouldn't care for. One, the sister, like in her bunny thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and the second one is like...
That'd be like cute. People would get that, sure.
And the second one would be like the sciencey chick if she was wearing her lab coat. Because she is attractive, but she's also... That's not her shtick,
no,
you know?
Yeah.
But all the other ones, like the ones that I like, I'm like, nah, they're going to be too hot, so...
That's true.
It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why that's our biggest issue with the show. Fuck this show. I can't get figures. People think I'm a perv.
That's a really big fucking reason, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. It's just anime. Anime props.
I'll get a figure of the main character. But he has to have his shirt off and he's going to be in the bathtub. And he's going to have big old scars.
Honestly, I would get the fuck out of that figure. I would instantly get it. And people would be like, what's up with that? And I'm like, oh, it's from a fucking awesome show. And they're like, really?
And then they're like, what's it called? I'm like, I don't want to tell you.
Yeah. I was like, Rascal Toast Nocturne Bunny Girl.
I'm like, did you stutter? No, that's what it's called.
Nah, man, that's just it. So yeah, I'm glad that you're still enjoying it because I am too. This whole plot of As Told by Ginger is pretty cool.
Did you think you would have enjoyed it? Like when we first originally saw like, you know, the shows that were coming out, I remember seeing the cover of it or whatever and like reading the plot a little bit. And it like, you know, the plot and the picture just didn't really, they didn't correlate too much.
Yeah.
And I remember you and I saying our biggest issue might be a little too etchy or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then it immediately proved itself.
Yeah.
Like,
so
instantly.
I'm like, I don't know how you feel, but I'm super surprised at like how much I enjoy the show.
Yeah, no, I am too. Well, I mean, not after watching the first episode.
No, exactly, yeah.
But going into
in hindsight, you know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you see the artwork for the first one, you're like, that's really pretty. I hope that it's not just like fucking sex, because that's what it looks like. And then when it's not, you're like, oh, fucking dope.
Do you know what's okay? You know the thing.
I sure do. What the fuck are you talking about, kid?
What's the studio? That was the question I was looking for.
PA Works, Cloverworks, Cloverworks,
Cloverworks.
It's A1 Pictures subsidiary or whatever. Cloverworks.
Good old Cloverworks.
Yeah,
solid so far. Solid.
Yeah, really good. But that being said, you know, look back over at Darling in the Franxx. I don't know.
Fucking 10 out of 10. Best show of the year.
Shit. Okay. Wow. So,
what year? Who fucking knows? Not this year. Tell you that right now.
No, I don't know if it was because Studio Trigger had a lot of story elements or something that clashed with Cloverworks, but essentially they made this super cool world that had so much story that we didn't get to see really anything about. They had so many parts of it that we didn't fully explore. It wound up being a bad show because of that. I don't know if I would say bad show, but it really suffered and it made it something that I wouldn't recommend to people.
I really enjoyed the show. I do agree that it for sure took a drop in just not like quality because it still looked really good. It was just a drop in just like, you know, plot storytelling.
Yeah.
It just kind of like fell to the wayside. Well, but for the most part, the beginning part till near the middle where I was just like really wanting to know what everything was going on.
Right.
I really hadn't captivated, and they told me everything, and I was super fucking happy.
Yeah,
and then I was like, "Oh, there's more." Okay, and then I just kind of went along with the ride. But I can honestly say I wasn't like at any point like uninterested with the show. I was always like down to watch it.
Yeah, me too. But I felt like a hostage in that situation.
I felt like maybe I stopped enjoying it as much.
Yeah.
But I for sure still was like, I want to see how this plays out.
Exactly. Because I wanted to know more story. I need to know like, how did this world get to be the way it is? And then when they told you, it's like, well, that wasn't enough details to make it so nobody knows who they are as citizens. And they're all just like weird blind people. Like there were a few really strong episodes. We get to see some backstory episodes, which were incredible. I thought they did a really good job with that. They had some really good sequences just all throughout. Maybe not the best storytelling for those sequences, but just a lot of little parts that were really beautiful and unique. And then we get the episode where that little shithead runs away, and I'm like, fuck this fucking kid. I hate him. And then you get to learn like the coolest parts of the story.
I thought that was super cool.
Yeah. And then they don't follow up with it much.
Yeah.
And then they go to the beach and they find like some remains of civilization.
Learn about pregnancy. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
And then I'm like, but why was that there?
I really love when those two people end up falling in love and they get married. I'm just like, fuck you, anime, making me cry over people that don't exist.
Dude, it was great. But they didn't have enough world that like they had a lot of world, but they didn't tell us much.
I think my least favorite part of the entire show was the main character and was like 02. Like I was like,
I thought you hated Ichigo.
No, Ichigo. I mean, Ichigo's the girl, right? Yeah, I also dislike her. But when I think about it in hindsight, I'm like, our main character was kind of shitty. 02 was essentially unruly. Like she just would not like a lot of the issues that came up were her fault. Like she's like, look, I get it. You want to be human, but you're a demon or whatever, or some sort of real alien. And why do people not like you? Because you fucking keep killing them.
Because you kind of suck, man.
But you know who's best boy?
Who?
Fucking what's his name? Goro.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's so hot.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
Anyways, so if Cloverworks has those two shit, well, did he pass away?
Unfortunately, no. Sick? I think he got sick or something.
Yeah, I think he had like some, from what I know, Cloverworks has those two shows, that one, Darling in the Franxx, and
I believe
this one.
That's it right
now.
So
far, I think they're a pretty solid thing, and I'm going to keep watching them, especially because they're under PA Works, you know?
A1 Pictures.
A1 Pictures, right. Yeah. So we know that, like, they come from good stock.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A1's fucking fantastic. Really, really good. I am excited to see what else they have in store. But as of right now, like, I don't know how much time they have for each project. Because the fact that they were working before with Trigger, and then did they take a season off?
What? Who did?
Cloverworks. I think they weren't there for
we're trying to figure out when Darling in the Franxx, did they take a break between? I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think Darling in the Franxx is 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, so we might have to wait a little bit before we get another show from these guys, but I'm excited to see more. Let me just catch you up with shows that you are going to be watching. Okay. Well, there's Slime. It's getting better.
Nice.
In that, like, it had, I had some moments where you get to learn a little bit more about characters, and Kyle was talking about how he has an issue with it because it's taking too long to get anywhere, and I'm like, yeah, but also it's 2 core. So of course it's going to take a while to get some places. But in this last episode, we have assembled our full team.
Nice. You know what? Something that I thought about for Slime.
At least from the intro or outro or whatever.
What makes it kind of feel like it's taking too long is the fact that the intro is, they show us that bit where he's like super OP essentially, and he's turning from like humanoid form to slime mode. I think that kind of hurt them. I think if they would have just left them all in slime or whatever and showed us like clips of like people who are going to join the squad eventually, that would have been like a better deal, especially if it's 2 core, because they can just do a second theme song.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's what
I completely agree with you.
Because at no point did I ever feel like, oh man, this is taking too long, until I realized that the blue chick in the
still
intro
not there
was like, was our slime dude. I was like, oh, because at first I was like, what a weird intro. Barely saw the slime guy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, that's a slime. Oh. And so now I know I'm waiting for this or whatever. And I think maybe that's why I might feel a little slow.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I can honestly say I really did like the first part of Slime. And I'm behind, but I mean, it's still a good show. I think it has its merits or whatever. So I'm going to keep watching it for sure.
Oh yeah, I love it. This last episode, we got our whole team together, and now Slime's like turning into human whenever. And it's kind of fun. Earlier, it talked about how he couldn't taste anything and how he like couldn't feel anything and whatnot. And now that he could turn into a human, he's super excited to eat again. He's like, oh, fuck, I can taste stuff. This is dope. Like, they're going to have a big old feast. And nice. It's just been a overall fun show to watch. It's a good shonen. Definitely not going to take like the place of My Hero Academia or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's one of the better isekai that I've seen. I
couldn't see, it getting close to My Hero, but it for sure has, its place in, shonen out there.
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
What else?
So that wife show, the wife alien.
Oh yeah. How many episodes now?
Right. I think it's 9.
Now it might actually be worth watching.
Yeah. I watched a few of them. I don't like the latest,
wife or husband.
Husbands. Yeah. Because the wife is fine of the husbands, but it's these twin angel chicks with one eye.
Do they share an eye?
No. They each have one eye. Okay. They're like Cyclops angels. lolly goth girls.
For people who don't know, we're talking about this show. It's a weird show where like boys end up marrying these weird creatures, and the creatures are technically the husbands, and the wives are the boys. And it's like a comedy, right? And it's really short.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 minutes a piece. I don't know what it's called. I know it's kind of silly, but I've decided to like wait till there's more, just because I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm watching like a few episodes at a time, and I'm having a decent time with it. It's really easy to watch. 3 minutes long per episode.
Is it okay if we're rating it like on the like scale of like other shows that are really short? Was it better or worse than Crossing Time?
Worse.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So because Crossing Time was pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a hard question for
Whoa,
me.
not a hard question? Okay, here it is. Better or worse than, I don't know any other shows that were 3 minutes long that we watched.
Leluca was like 8 or something. Right?
Better or worse than Leluca? Worse.
Space Patrol Leluca was fucking
Worse.
rad.
So
I
bad.
love it.
Probably the worst show I ever saw, actually.
Yeah,
It probably goes like, live action version of Death Note and then Leluca.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
You can't even pronounce the name.
Appleseed's above it too.
Yeah?
What else is above it? That's trash. Bye Bye Man. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Bye Bye Man's the best anime of all
Anime of the
time.
year,
How
yeah.
dare you say that?
I think it was 2016, best of 2016.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we know.
We know. We always know.
Okay, cool. What else did you watch that I did not watch?
Goblin Slayer.
Oh, yeah. Goblin Slayer, man.
So you feel that way about Goblin Slayer?
I like Goblin Slayer.
Because I feel the opposite. Like, if your opinions on Goblin Slayer versus that time I got reincarnated as a slime, like flip those. That's how I feel. Because Goblin Slayer doesn't have too much to care about. It's just like, yep, I want to go and kill goblins. Yes, I want to go and kill goblins.
But
and
how
then every
big
once in a
were
while,
that chick's boobs, though? You know what I'm talking about?
I know, well, yeah,
Massive.
I know, I get it, and she fucked him or whatever. But whatever, man.
I don't know. I'm thinking 2 episodes behind Goblin Slayer.
Okay, well, the next episode she fucks him.
Nice. What I wanted to say about Goblin Slayer is that I would like it just because it's just this guy and all he does is kill goblins. I'm like, cool, and that's all there has to be to it.
Well, that's what I like about it as well.
I'm not expecting anything more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming he'll eventually become part of the let's go kill the demon thing, because the demon thing is the one that's really bringing in all those goblins. Just
that's essentially what we just we'll
find
discovered
out.
in this episode. So
I like it. I don't think it's the best of the year, obviously, but it's pretty.
It's
cool.
a lot of fun. It's cool to watch. They fought it's not a beholder.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy.
How do you not know what a beholder is?
Is that a big eye?
Yeah, it's the big eye tentacle.
Beholder, yeah.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's not one of those, but it's one of it's
like
minor forms.
Yeah, like okay, like it's
so they fought one of those, and it was pretty
same
pretty
genus,
neat to watch.
different species or whatever. Yeah,
and they also had to go up against a. I want to say it's a goblin champion.
Ooh, big old goblin.
Yeah, so they fought him a couple of times. It was fun to watch. It was really neat. Characters getting really fucked up.
Nice.
Elf girl almost gets raped.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did they give you the trigger warning though?
I mean, not anymore. I think we're over the trigger warning.
What's the point, But
yeah, no, it gets pretty intense, but it's still like, I don't know. It just feels like you're watching some people play like the most gritty game of D&D of all time.
Yep, sounds like something I want to do.
Yeah, no, just
because you and I can't play that game because we're not those kind of people.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would like to believe like I can fucking go in the trenches and be a badass like with the best of them. But me and you are like, hey, you want to fucking hold hands and sing? Yeah. Hey, Kyle, roll to see how well we sing. Kyle's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Roll to see. He's like, you guys sing very poorly, except for Trip. There's not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm really having a good time with it, but I just don't I'm not invested in it. If that makes I don't care at all about the plot. I just want to watch it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of feel the same way. Like I just kind of like seeing him kill shit, and I was like,
exactly,
cool,
yeah,
you killed shit, nice.
And then with Slime, I'm like, I want to see what else is going on. I want to see if he's trying to get back to the real world, or if he's accepting who he is, or what's happening. And he's now become just insanely powerful, and is learning how to combine different types of magic.
I feel like I haven't watched a lot of those shows. What are they called? The
Isekai?
Yeah.
In Another World shows?
I feel like I haven't seen... I know I've seen a couple of them. And I know there's a lot out there. I don't know if very often they go back to the real world just because they don't get through them.
No.
I feel like a lot of them just accept where they are and kind of stay there. Like
Digimon though.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, but
like the first
you know,
one,
like Overlord or whatever. Essentially,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna try to find the other people in my clan. It's like is it still that? Is it still like? Is it just kind of like he's becoming this guy and he's just kind of stuck there?
It's more so that he doesn't have as much control as he thought.
Okay, cool.
He started out as like a human, and now he's really just become this skeleton. Man.
Dude, yeah. Like he's lost his humanity, essentially.
Yeah. So he doesn't have any control over that.
Yeah. No.
Meanwhile, these other characters that do have control, they still like in Slime San, he got to see his friend from Japan from back in the day. Not his actual friend, but his Japanese buddy. Japanese girl that he meets.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, like he died in the real world or whatever, and now he's in this fantasy world. I feel like just the plot will always be like him trying to go back to the real world. No, he's dead. He's just kind of here now, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, in general, he's just trying to like unite people and
just live a life.
Hopefully find a way that he can like be happy. I think that's his main goal. It's not like at first it was to find somebody else from Japan so we could learn a little bit more about like how they got here and they could like bond over, stuff and whatever it is. But that shifted, I think, after he met somebody from Japan from like a different time and learned how they got there. So he realized that like he happens to be he happens to be a lucky one who got reincarnated instead of being summoned through like demonic ways. Yeah. Anyways, done with those. Whatever. Color Girls is what I'm going to call it. I don't remember the name of it, but like In a World Without Color or whatever, which is the one about the magic girl who's sent back in time by her grandma to hang out with her grandma when she was a teenager, and she's supposed to learn how to like enjoy magic and life and stuff.
And she can't see color.
She can't see color either. But she hates magic, and then she's getting to learn how magic is good, and then she's seeing color from this boy who could draw some pictures.
And he's super cute.
And he's really cute. And in the last episode, another boy asked her to go out and take pictures and learn how to take pictures, and they did. And at the end of the night, he asked her on a date, and she said no because she likes another boy. But it's fucking anime, so of course it didn't just go like that. Instead, it was, I'm going to run away. I don't know how to deal with this.
Nice.
And then guess what? Still running away for a couple of days until like she talks to somebody. She's like, hypothetically, this totally didn't happen. What if somebody liked somebody else and they asked them on a date and then they just ran away? And then her grandma's like, okay, so that's what's been going on. Also, maybe don't talk about this in a public place where everyone else could hear you right now.
You know what? I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
That is real life. That was me, growing up. That wasn't for you, Trip.
No.
That was for when all the boys asked me out and I felt super uncomfortable and I had to run away.
It was not for me.
That's what real life is, okay?
Okay, well,
you'll never know.
I run into my problems, not away from.
You'll never know teen love like I knew teen love. And these people know it.
Clearly not, man.
Okay, grow the fuck up, man.
I'm not trying to grow up.
Grow the fuck down, man.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Toys R Us. Anyways, any other shows?
Yeah, man. Also, Banana Fish.
Fish.
Fuck. It's been nutso butso. There's a bunch of stuff going on with the Chinese gang, and they've been helping out with our boy Ash Lynx, but not really because Ash has been under like the whole head honcho's watch, and he had his whole eating disorder thing, so he's been on an IV drip for a while. And then they came and they tried to save his ass, and guess what? Our boy AG's been in there. He's been planning. He's like the mastermind behind stuff. Not really, but he's a part of it, and he's like helping plan and whatnot. Then we learned that Kane is actually the biggest motherfucker around, and he's so cool. He's just the raddest dude, except he's got his own plans about how to unite everybody, and it also involves Ash, and he's a pretty good guy, but he's being a little bit less good than he could be, and shit's fucking nuts is what I'm trying to say. That like hired mercenary dude is fucking, he just seems like he's bored with everything. So
I think he just got introduced to where I'm at.
Yeah,
I took a break from Banana Fish. I was super behind.
My god!
No, the thing is, I was super behind.
Yeah,
and so then all I would, so when me and Sierra were watching anime for Anime Week, like Anime Night or whatever, we would like, okay, get into Banana Fish, and we would just watch a bunch of that. And I got kind of burnt out. I'm like, cool, this is great. I just want to watch, but I was missing other shows. Like I didn't get to see Goblin Slayer or Slime or, I was like, well, let's take a break. And the show that I really like is the Running Show. So it's like, I really want to see that. So I am officially still behind with Banana Fish. I am just less behind. It's still a really good show though.
No, it's so much fucking fun. I'm loving it. The intro sucks. It's like the worst intro of all time.
The new intro does suck, right?
It's so bad.
The old intro was fucking fire.
Yeah, it was legit. It was like one of the best intros that we had all season. And then fucking this season of Banana Fish comes around and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, just like say some English words. It doesn't matter if they go together, but if they sound cool, say it.
Is it worse than in my opinion, than the intro of like Attack on Titan, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, worse than that.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, speaking of, this is super fun. Pay attention the next time that you watch Color Girls. The intro to Color Girls has a part like at the very beginning, which reminds me of the outro of Attack on Titan season 2.
Okay. Yeah, let's try to find that.
It goes like and it's like very season 2. It's like but it's all the kids singing and it's super creepy and all the giants are ripping things open and whatnot.
Okay, man.
Yeah. You haven't been watching Zombieland Saga, but I have, and it's so fucking good. I can't get over how much I'm enjoying it. It's absolutely
worst show this season.
One of the most fun slice of life type shows I've ever seen. Because I mean, it's not really a slice of life, but it like is a slice of life.
Not as good as Tamako Market.
That's true.
What? Nah, you just lying to me.
Yeah, I am lying to you. I like this more. I like this so much more. It's so great. We had a super sweet episode, which is about the little girl of the group. And she gets this fan, like they've gotten to the point where they're really big and they have a lot of fans and stuff. And then they have this huge guy in the audience and he looks really intense. And of course the biker chick, she's like, yo, that motherfucker is a yak. And they're like, the fuck is a yak? And she explains like, oh yeah, he's here to like try to get money out of us. And he's like, he's been sent by somebody now that we're, a big deal. He's here to hurt us in some way. And he's like waiting in line for the meet and greet after the whole Pop Idol show to meet this little girl or whatever. And he gets up to her and he's like, oh my gosh,
you're my favorite.
No, he's like, you look so much like, and then like grabs her for a second. So the biker chick comes up, kicks him in the face, fucking knocks him out because she's a badass. And, then we get to learn a little bit of a story about how she looks just like his little girl, his daughter, that died. And then you're like, oh, so that's her dad. And then it's a whole issue with like, she's seen her dad. And then the rest of them, except the chick who's from like 200 years ago or whatever, they're all like, okay, so now this is a legitimate issue. We're big enough to where people might be able to see us that we knew back when we were alive. Yeah. And that might fuck with things, especially like these two that were in the public eye more so. So that kind of got introduced as an issue, but the end of the episode, like at first I was like, oh, this is, it's going to be sweet or whatever. But then as the little girl's singing her song, she's like, hey, I have a brand new song that I wanted to debut for everyone here. And they like somehow got him to the show by sending a note that like made him have to go. And it's a whole show about like her dad essentially. And like that they, they don't see each other, but like she loves him or whatever. But instead of being specific, it was just like a really general, like you or whatever. So all the audience is like, oh, this is a super sweet song. Oh, she's so cute or whatever. But instead it was like a direct message to the dad. She like staring at him the whole time that she's singing it. And it was a little bit emotional.
Did you cry?
I was getting there. No,
cry?
I didn't cry. It wasn't that
Fucking
level.
Wiener.
All right, man. I'm so sorry that I
Real
didn't cry. Well, it wasn't worth crying over.
Oh, he's crying now though?
I'm always crying, but like not for that. Just like general crying, So yeah, that was good. And then the episode before that was a pretty cool one where we get to see the biker chick's past. And she has like a run in with this little punk ass girl and she has a really shitty little moped and they have an ongoing thing. She gets involved with like the middle of a gang fight and she's like, this is so fucking stupid. Whatever. I'm going to put an end to all this stuff. And they were about to do this competition thing, which is actually how she got killed originally, where they played a game of chicken, like trying to ride off of a cliff. And it turns out that one of the girls involved with this was her best friend when they were bikers. Like her mom and her were best friends. Anyways, so this little girl is like about to just repeat the same thing that got our biker chick girl killed.
Yeah.
So she gets involved and she's like, no, fuck all that. Y'all shouldn't do this. Somebody died doing this before.
I died doing this.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, so I'm going to be the honorary captain for the fucking day. And she's wearing this dumbass sash over. She's like, so you're going to go against me and not her. And I'm going to kick your ass and fuck everyone here. And she was like super aggressive and mad. And then the mom gets there and she's like trying to stop this shit going down. She's like, no, you fucking idiot kid. Don't do this shit. Like, you don't understand what you were doing out there. Anyways, then they decided to do the little race chicken game. And of course, our zombie chick just flies off the edge and then explodes in a big old fire. And they're like, what the fuck? And she climbs back up and she's like, you could get seriously hurt. You all knock this shit off. Be good girls. Fuck you. And like goes off. And she's like, also come to my show. And then she like sings a like little rock anthem type thing. And then the goth guys from the first episode that we're getting into it.
Metal dudes,
yeah, they've been following for a while. And now there's just like a huge group of people just from all these different parts of life. So you just have some like normal people that like their pop idol music. Then you have these like intense people, all different ages and whatnot. And then finally we get the bikers to come into the background. So it's just fun seeing like their audience grow and you get to see all the different people that are a part of it. It was a lot of fun. Good times.
I'm glad that you're enjoying this show. It's just not for me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. If you watched more, I think you would agree, but it's fine.
Not going to do it. Refuse.
Yeah, no, you have the weirdest opinions of shit out of anyone I've ever met.
Refuse.
Yeah, you just don't like fun. It's fine.
I love fun. Fuck you. I love love.
All right, then tell me why you like Mirai.
All right, we're talking about... Actually, we're doing the news first.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Oh, you tried to be super slick. But hey, yeah, let's talk about...
No, I couldn't be slick because we have to do the news, but you're not going to have any opinion on this. So check it out. Fruits Basket. You guys know it. I fucking know it. We all know it. It's great. Hey, New York? Yeah, cool. Well, in the fucking Times Square, there was a big ass ad for it. You know how much that cost? Like $1 million fucking dollars.
Really?
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so I don't know who it is, but somebody spent it's actually in between $1 million and $4 million.
Wow, so over $1 million.
Yeah, definitely over $1 million in order to get this fucking ad up there. So it's nutso.
Are they just promoting the new show?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. Good for them.
Cool.
Fine.
Evangelion.
Yeah.
It's coming to Netflix.
Super stoked.
2019.
I heard they're actually doing redubs, too.
Okay,
Which I don't know how I feel about that.
Next thing I'm talking about is that they're redubbing Evangelion.
Oh, looks like I'm on top of the news, Doug.
Yeah, you are. So it's not being done with the original cast, and that was confirmed by Ray's original dub actress, Amanda Wynn Lee. She came out and said, like, yeah, this isn't happening anymore. And essentially, different voice actors have come out and said, hey, people should fucking get mad at Netflix and tweet at them and stuff and tell them to keep the original cast.
You know what I think? I think what they should do is they should redub it if they want, just because some of the dubs aren't as solid as others. But what they should do is leave an option so you can listen to the original dub. Like,
sure.
So you can pick, I want to just watch it the way it was originally made. Because, for people who are purists, essentially, like, oh, this is the way I watch this way, you should watch it. Cool. But maybe it could be done better, essentially.
It's true.
And, you and I talked about this. We have no fondness for this because we didn't watch it when we were younger.
Yeah.
We have watched it more recently and enjoyed it. So, I can't even tell you what the voices should sound like, whatever. So maybe it's not the end of the world. Maybe people should be less upset about this and, it's not the end of the world. But I think if it was an option to watch how it originally was made, I think that would be cool.
I think the original dub was good. They should keep all the actors.
Cool.
I don't think that they need to redo a new one.
Yeah.
But that's just, most people's opinion.
Yeah, and it's none of their fucking it's not their job.
So Crunchyroll and Adult Swim are going to team up for an all-new Blade Runner. It's called Black Lotus.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an anime series. So it's like what Netflix did, but better.
I saw that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I saw that being announced. Did you watch 2099? The new Blade Runner? Did you like it?
Yes. No.
Okay. Did you watch the original Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
No.
Okay, cool. So this is perfect. It's going to be great.
Yes. Because the original Blade Runner was like, I just don't get it. And then 2049 was like, yeah, I mean, it's got some really good shots and it was way more interesting than the first one, but like,
I feel like the original
it felt way too long and it didn't have much plot.
I feel like the original was just like that, it's a cult classic, but only because it has that cult following because of it. I don't think it was actually a success in the box office.
No.
And the second one, people really like it visually, but again, a lot of the biggest argument thing is like the development of the story is pretty weak, and again, it was really long, but visually it's gorgeous or whatever.
Oh, fucking stunning.
But I think this world does lend itself to be a pretty cool anime world to be in. And I remember watching that anime, like it was a prequel or whatever we watched about Blade Runner or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked really cool. I didn't think the story was all that great. So
yeah.
who knows?
So
Maybe
anyways,
cool.
this one will be also boring.
Unless
so
it's
that's
etchy
cool.
as fuck. They should make it etchy as fuck and then I'll watch it.
Hopefully. Hey, remember how I was talking about this show that's really fucking good that everyone but you likes?
Yeah.
So Zombieland Saga's real house, like the actual mansion that they live in, has drawn over like 1,000 visitors in a single day.
That's cool.
So essentially, while this show, like, it takes place in the Saga prefecture in Japan, and we've seen other places, for some reason, I feel like they went to Harajuku and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, they have this weird Western style kind of like mansion type place, and it's based on the former Mitsubishi Goshi Kaisha Karatsu branch Hokan.
Nailed it.
Which is a cultural property within the Karatsu city. So anyways, it became like the Mitsubishi Goshi Kaisha became the Mitsubishi Corporation, and it's got a bunch of history to it. And the fact that this takes place in some like altered timeline with zombies and shit, and they're living there, I don't know. People are like really fucking into it, and they've been visiting that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it's pretty cool that people are willing to to come see it. I also really like the fact just the anime because a lot of it is based in Japan.
Yeah,
I love when a lot of the people who write the manga or the stories for the anime really draw from and there's actual real locations. They're like, I just kind of drew where I grew up or whatever. Or this is the school I went to, or this is the.
I always like that.
I always think it's
so
super
cool.
neat when you put it side by side because more often than not, it's like pretty spot on. I feel like we don't really get that over here in like in the Western world.
They're like, this is New York. I'm walking here. Spider-Man, Hell's Kitchen. Fuck you.
Yeah, or a lot of shows are just kind of based, generically in the middle of nowhere. It's just like, we're in that big city that doesn't exist or whatever. I think it's whatever. I think it's cool that Japan goes the extra mile. Like, we'll just draw from real life, and it's really. I think it's nice. I think it's cool. I don't think I'd visit it just because I'm not a big fan. But there are other shows that like have this kind of stuff. Like the Kids on the Slope School is a real place. Like, oh, cool. Tight. I don't want to climb up that slope. Yeah, the K-On stuff.
Haruhi. Yep. All right, so something that everyone but you loves. Oh, also me, and also a lot of people. The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. The conclusion anime is going to air on December 28th.
Good. Fuck that show. The show sucks. That's a pretty hard stance, right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I fucking
look, man. If you like the show, it's fine. I don't think it's all that good, and it's great that it's coming to an end because I don't want to have to ever see it pop up on my Netflix feed ever again.
All right, peeps. Anyways, that's done, and.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
So yeah, the 28th, that's coming down. There's going to be a new show coming out. It's based off of a manga. It's Rimukoro's manga series, Sewayaki Kitsune no Senko-san. It's going to have an anime adaptation in spring. So I don't know if you know about this.
I mean, if you give me details, maybe I know about it, but I have no idea what that name or what those words meant.
Lolly Fox Girl.
I know what this is. I've seen images about it. Yeah.
See, now here's the thing. Essentially, the reason that this manga exists in the first place is because the creator of it was like, you know what? I just really feel like watching this, like a show about a lolly fox girl that like helps people out with like housework and stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck! This doesn't exist. Okay, well, I guess I have to make it.
I like how he's just like, man, I really like watching those kinds of shows. These shows don't exist. I'll make that show. That is the fucking balls on this guy.
I mean, dude, that's why stuff's made. But I love in his first manga issue, he like made a panel of like him coming up with that, or not a panel, but a few
like
panels
a little fan thing. Like, hey, this is how I came up with the idea.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of like a good example is your fucking coworker who played that really trash song today.
Oh my god,
it's like. The guy who made that was just sitting there. He's like, you know what? I like hearing random noises that kind of sound like they belong to the Yoshi theme song, but they're just utter trash. Hey, that doesn't exist. I'll make it. And then you had to listen to it, and it was total shit.
Yeah, see, we're talking about the song Dark Loud by Troy Boy.
Hold on. It's called dark, loud.
Like Lord, but loud. I think
Troy Boy.
Yeah, by Troy Boy, and boy is spelled with an I. Oh, dude, it's like
what the fuck is happening?
It's like
to America.
It's the biggest trash town since fucking Saiki K.
What's funny is that like you were playing in it and like you're like, what do you think? I'm like, it's bad, it's trash. And you're like, yeah, right.
It's the fucking worst.
And I was like, it's super odd because you have very eclectic taste in music.
Yeah,
like there's times I'm in your car, I'm like, what the fuck are we listening to? But you enjoy it. You're like. And I was like,
I mean, the things that I know that are fucked up, like that's, I think that's the thing is that I know the difference between something that sounds really fucked up and weird and something that sounds like actual music.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I like both.
Yeah, because this was for sure noise. It just like utter trash. And
but it was just bad noise. Bad,
yeah. And I was like, huh. And I was like, how old is she? 19. Like, so this is music. This is what they listen to nowadays, huh?
Hey, man, when I was 13, I was jamming out to Math the Band.
Nice.
But it's a different era.
Did they hold up? They still good?
They were never good.
Oh, they were
but
bad?
I was having a fun time with them just because of their whole vibes. I got really into like the vibes of bands.
Oh, don't talk to me anymore. We're done. I don't want to. I still want to be your friend after this conversation.
No, it's fine. They had an album come out called Math the Band, Band the Math. Yeah. And then they started calling themselves the Dave Matthews Band for a while. And they were just like, I don't give a fuck about anything. We're going to, like, does anybody have a barn? Because we will travel to you and we're going to have a show in your barn. And I'm like, these guys are going fucking hard on having fun in the weirdest ways. And I really like it. Put out a song called The Water Cycle.
Is it about the water cycle?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Precipitation.
No, please. Is there more news?
No, that
Can we
it.
please talk about Mirai?
Yeah, well, the last thing in the water cycle was motorcycles instead of, the actual water cycle, which was really funny to me. So,
and that's really, and there's motorcycles in Mirai.
Long story short, Mirai is a film forever.
It's a film about motorcycles.
So, Mamoru Hosoda, I can't fucking ever say his last name. Mamoru Hosoda, he's done a lot of things. Y'all remember him from the first Digimon movie.
Mm-hmm. Digimon the movie.
Yeah, Digimon the movie. And then he made more.
Yeah, and then we went through them all, right?
Yeah, do you want to go through in the order of like...
I can try.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get it right, though. Okay, so Digimon the movie.
Yeah.
I want to say the next thing was probably... Wolf Children? Really? Really?
Idiot.
Is it Summer Wars?
No.
The Boy and the Beast.
It's fine, dude.
I gave up.
Yeah, you could give up. So it was The Girl Who Left Her Time, Summer Wars, Wolf Children, The Boy and the Beast.
Really? Boy and the Beast is the most recent. I mean, after Mirai or whatever.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I would have guessed that was older.
Yeah, whackness, right?
Yeah, I would have guessed... I don't know. Maybe it's been a while since I've seen The Girl Who Left Her Time, but I feel like it looks better than Wolf Children.
Oh, no, you're so wrong.
I think I mean, that's why I remember it.
No, because...
Wolf Children's trash. I'm calling it.
Wolf Children had
Summer Wars is the best.
Had like really, really clean, round lines. And then The Girl Who Left Her Time had a lot more... I don't know. It felt like more real.
They didn't have lines.
Yeah, exactly. No, it felt like more real looking, I think.
Probably more realistic, you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't look as like beautiful.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is a guy who I think you told me about his movies a while back, and you're the one that made me watch them.
I think you watched Summer Wars, and then I was like, check out everything else he's done.
I watched Summer Wars because it was like debuting on fucking Toonami or whatever, and I was just like, I guess I'll watch this.
As well. It's 2010 or no, 2012 or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, it's interesting, and I watched it. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It looks pretty out there. You're like, dude, watch his other stuff, and we did. And I super enjoyed them. I think he's a solid guy, and he's making some really fucking good movies. We actually talked about like we'll talk about it later. But we talked about like where we thought these were in order, like what we liked, and then we looked at the internet and they disagreed with us. And some of them did. I was like, I guess there are fucking total idiots still out there.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Fucking mouth breathers.
I don't know. I feel like it's easier to have opinions on movies than shows because a movie is just like so in place.
Oh yeah.
And you watch it in one sitting and you're done. With shows, so many other things could be happening.
Exactly.
You could be watching some other show as you're watching this one, and it might take you a month to get through a show, or you might be watching it during its airing, and that'll have a different feeling.
Yeah,
than
gotta
just
wait every week.
watching.
Yeah. And there's also the whole like sometimes you get an episode that's just a dud. dud.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just like, huh, I wonder why this episode sucked. You're like, maybe because the last 3 were amazing. So this one had to be lazy or whatever.
Exactly.
With a movie, you can't really afford that. You can't afford to have a weak act because you're just like, well, the movie just kind of sucked. Why? Because the middle was really boring, or the ending sucked, or the beginning was just not, it has to be, it's kind of like maybe fucking fireworks. You take some fucking notes. You have to be interesting the whole way throughout and not, not just be like a fucking dumpster fire from start to end, I guess.
Yeah. So anyways, I feel like people have very similar opinions on movies than with shows, where you could have pretty divisive opinions.
Yeah.
So I think every movie that we've talked about, we have like the same opinions on. Live action movies barely vary from each other, and it's like especially like minuscule.
Especially if they vary, they're more like, yeah, this was awful. Oh no, I agree, this was also awful. But we just disagree on like how awful it was. Yeah.
It was a little bit better than this. Really? I think it was just a little bit worse than that. It's like, okay, well, at least they're like comparable.
Well, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. For sure.
Yeah.
Like when you and I watch movies, and we don't always watch movies together. We do watch them separately. Sometimes
rarely actually.
But sometimes people say no. I mean, I watch.
No, I know.
People say sometimes like, oh, you guys only like it because you watch it together. Like there's just like it's some sort of bias between it. Like you watch it together, you both enjoyed it. You guys had a good experience, and that's true. We have watched movies together, but we've also watched movies separately. Like we watched Later Who Loved Time separately. We watched what's it called? Fucking A Silent Voice separately. Both come back, and you're just like, yeah, fucking
incredible.
Great.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I'm more critical of movies than I am shows.
Well, they should do better. They should. They it's like
I guess
they know they only have so much time. And they know their budget is this much.
Anyways, long story short, everything this dude makes is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Mirai came out, and guess what? It stayed consistent, but other people felt like it was the worst one he made.
Yeah, no, I saw it. It was super shocking because they're like, this is the worst one. He's losing his touch or some shit like that. And people are just like, but those people also said like, oh, Summer Wars was the best. In my opinion, I like Summer Wars the least.
Yeah, I mean, when you first watch it, like at this point, I had seen The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Didn't realize it was made by the same director. I had also seen Digimon.
Yeah. Which in this is a thing. I think when you and I talk about this guy, I think we just kind of ignore Digimon, just because it's a franchise thing.
Exactly.
It's not really an original movie written by him or like his. It is like. Hey,
I mean, it is an original movie, but he takes things from.
I'm saying something that's currently existing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like, hey man, you want to do the new fucking One Punch Man movie?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to mix that in with Girl Who Left Through Time, fucking Wolf Children. Like,
right.
It would sully the kind of
because you have a totally different team too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can be biased towards it. Like, oh, I already love Digimon. I'm gonna love this movie. What I'm saying is, I think you and I have said we personally just think Summer Wars is at the bottom. Out of his films, and it just because it's not for us. But some people were saying, no, Mirai's trash, and this is the Summer Wars is the best. I'm like, no, I think you're wrong.
And I guess we just have very different interests because Summer Wars, I don't know why people would be appealed to that more than this, other than like the fun action parts of it,
or the really cool looking, I guess
like digital universe,
which is super fun.
It looks really rad. That being said, he has like kind of surreal moments in all of his films, I think.
Like in this one,
maybe not in Wolf Children, or I don't know.
I mean,
I don't remember that one.
I think he might
surreal, but
what we're trying to say is that like Summer Wars isn't bad. Like it's not like a bad. Like I would say like it's not like a bad thing. It's just
it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's just like out of the other stuff he has, I like things better than that. Like
Summer Wars was really cool looking. But it didn't wow me.
Yeah. Summer Wars are fireworks. I would watch Summer Wars 1,000 times over fireworks. Absolutely. It's just kind of like that.
So anyways, that's this whole guy and his whole deal. But we actually went to go see this movie knowing nothing about it.
Yeah, we always do that, don't we?
Yeah, it's more fun that way, I think.
I was like, hey, it's a Penguin movie. I was like, no, the movie's called Penguin Highway. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure this isn't the Penguin movie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So anyways, Mirai, all I knew about it is Mirai means future. So
that's true. That is true. You did know that.
So it starts out and it shows us a sequence of a man and a woman, and they get married and they buy this little house, and then it starts being worked on, and she's pregnant. She has a baby, and then the house is still being worked on, and then we're in the present day. Essentially, it goes really quick. She is at the hospital, and she's having her second child, and then the dad is also, with her at the hospital, of course.
Obviously, yeah.
But we're not seeing any of this. We just know that they're there because fucking great storytelling through not even telling us, what's going on.
Yeah, it's just the little boy waiting for them to come back.
And then, oh shit, okay, they were at the hospital. Oh, new baby. Okay, so there's caretaker there. And then we quickly learned that they named her Mirai, which means future. And she explains that to the little boy. And that really doesn't have too much influence on what the movie is.
Yeah.
I thought that it was going to be some kind of a time travel movie, which in a way it is, but
Kinda.
in a way fucking different way that's not really time travel.
You know, you and I had to talk about this because because we obviously talked about the movie afterwards, but we never get too in depth.
Yeah,
we try not to just because we're in the fucking.
It's more entertaining to be like, oh, so that's what you thought. So these things like naturally on the
we
show.
were in the lobby of the fucking movie. They were like, let's break this shit down. Well, you know, because you and I were talking about, like, you said it's the future movie. That's what you called it originally. And the only reason we know it's future movie is because of the name.
Yeah.
Again, not knowing anything about it. So it was a movie about like this boy, and like
a little toddler.
Yeah, this family and like him learning to, deal with, having a new sibling and him being the older brother and stuff. And there was points in the movie where we get through this like fantastical moments or stuff,
Yeah, there are these surreal sequences.
Exactly. And I really liked them. And some
They're really great.
Some I like more than others.
Me too. But
there's parts where like, he ends up meeting his sister, like an older version of his sister, in these surreal moments or whatever. And like he interacts with her and stuff like that. And I was wondering at first, I'm like, maybe it's just like him, learning to deal with this. And this is his kind of like,
he's
him growing up.
processing
And
things,
this is how, because he's a little kid, so
exactly. He's got a vibrant imagination.
Exactly. I was like, maybe it's that. But there's times where like,
oh, it's for sure not fake.
Okay, so it is real. So like these things really
the way that
happen.
I know that is essentially, he's upset that the little sister is getting more attention than him because she's a little fucking baby and he's just a toddler. So fuck that toddler. And it shows us their life and it shows us how they care about each other. It doesn't explicitly say like how much they care about each other, but you can just see in the way that they interact. Like, they've been through childbirth before, so they understand what to do, but they haven't really gotten used, like they're not comfortable with it yet, even though they've already had a kid.
They're parents, but they're not like parents yet. They're not seasoned parents yet. Yeah.
So essentially the mom was like, look, man, last time that we had a baby, I did everything. You need to pick up your shit and you need to learn how to take care of the house while
and
I'm
not
gone.
just say you're taking care of the house, like actually fucking do it. Yeah. Like she put him on blast super quick. And I was like, holy shit. Like I get they're in a relationship. I get they're like husband or wife or whatever. I was like, that was kind of mean. But then
it was. And then I'm like, oh, wait, he did need to get on his shit.
Yeah, he did need to grow the fuck up because he was the dad was an architect essentially, and it didn't really explain what the wife did, but she was going back to work after having a second child, and the dad's like, I will freelance from home. I can do that now, or whatever. I'll take care of the kids, blah blah all this stuff. And then when she does this, bust this thing out, like, look, man, you got to fucking pick up your shit because like I need your fucking help, or
right?
Whatever.
And we're like, oh, he's already kind of trying to take care of stuff. We've seen him making breakfast,
exactly. And I was just like
sweeping and
looking in the back.
whatnot.
I'm like, right? Calm the fuck down. I was like, this was very warranted. This was for sure justified,
Yeah.
And we
my
only see
initial
that later.
reaction, was definitely
fuck her. Yeah.
Subverted. So anyways, we see this little boy, this toddler. He's just learning how to deal with having a little sister and what kind of entails that. So our first sequence is he gets upset and he tries to hit the little sister.
I think he does hit her.
Yeah. He goes in with a train and tries to hit her. And then right before he could hit her, they noticed that he was hitting her and they tried to stop it, but he did hit her just in time, right? It was just like this quick little sequence that I thought that was done really well of like parents being like, oh, fuck, this is happening.
Like one of our kids, the other kid, how do we react to this? Like one's a child, one's a baby. Like,
and they're not used to, having these little kids interacting with each other. They're only used to one. So anyways, that kind of starts him getting all upset and storming off. And that's when he goes and he sees his dog is a human in his eyes suddenly. And you're like, okay, what the fuck? He's like, I'm the prince of this house. And
I was the prince of this house, yeah.
And then when you came around, they stopped paying attention to me as much.
It's
and
like my food started getting worse. And I'm like, no one gives a fuck about me. And you're just like, huh. And that's where the moment was like, I wonder if this is real.
Yeah.
And then he pulls off his tail, like the dog's tail, and puts it on, and he becomes an animal, kind of like Wolf Children.
They had a few sequences that were throwbacks to his other movies, and that was one of them.
For sure. And then he's like running around, and like this is where the confusion starts, because he's running around and like as a like dog form kind of human thing, and like and the
he's
parents
arfing around the house,
parents see him and they're like, oh, you're being so cute.
Well, he wasn't really paying attention either. Like when he saw that happening, he wasn't really paying attention to it. The dad or whatever.
But I think I don't know, man. I'd have to see it again because like it didn't, it doesn't really register until you watch the whole thing and how you pick up everything. But I feel like they saw him and they're like, "Oh, cool. What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, I'm pretending to be a dog." And that's when I thought, "Oh, maybe all these things that he does are just kind of like moments that he has, and they're just like fantasy, and he's just daydreaming and stuff." But then we have a moment later, like the next sequence that comes up.
Yeah. So then the next one, that's when he meets his sister when she's older, and she's like, "Hey, fuckface. That thing over there, Dad's supposed to put it away. If he doesn't, each day that it's still out is 1 year more that I don't get to marry somebody."
Yeah, I thought that was super funny.
Right? And I'm like, oh shit, okay, so that's interesting because they already established this. And she's like, "Look, motherfucker, this is the realest shit. You're my big brother, and I'm your little sister.
You need to help me.
You gotta help me out, bro. We're family. We help each other."
And he's like, "Nah, fuck you, bitch.
Man, I don't like you." But yeah, it's so funny. And she's like, come on, dude.
It's like, bro, I'm from the fucking future.
Right?
And he's just like, "Yeah, I don't like you."
Yep. And then they're like, "Okay, well, you gotta help me. So let's just do this. Plus, look at Daddy's an idiot."
Yeah,
and
he is an idiot.
Yeah, they get the dog involved, and they're like trying to sneak through the house as the dad is like working on his computer. And as they're like sneaking around and stuff, suddenly things go wrong. They're trying to hide more and more. And you're still just like, I don't know if this little kid's just goofing or what's happening. Yeah. And then they actually start putting away the parts, and like part of it gets like attached to his pants. And it's still just like maybe the kid's thinking about,
like a funny thing.
Yeah, he's goofing around, having some imagination. And then they wind up putting it all away. Everything's fine. And we're back to normal. There's no more weird like fantasy future girl thing, and
no
and
human dog man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the moment where I'm just like, maybe this is real, because like they did actively touch things. They put something away
and then his parents, like the mom's like, "Hey, thanks for putting that away. Like I asked you," and he's like, "Yeah, no problem. Wait,
are you sure? Yeah, are you fucking with
put
me?
it away though?" And she's like, "Nah, dude. Like what?" And that was where it all became.
Oh shit,
I
did it.
Real.
Yeah. And you see, and that's another thing where I'm almost like, because like there's so much levels to this fucking movie where I'm just like, I don't know what's real, I don't know what's fake. And I do agree. Like that first time he did it, I was like, no, I think it's fantasy. This next one, I was like, no, it's more based in reality because things actually got moved. But then I also remember he's also a dad. He's neglectful because he's like he's doing 1,000 things in his head.
Yeah.
He's trying to take care of this kid. He's trying to work all this stuff.
Right.
So it's like, I've also remembered plenty of times where my father did something and forgot to do it. Like he's like, oh, I did this thing. And then, he'll be like, did I do that thing? That's just kind of a thing that adults do sometimes. We're like, and they're like, I should probably do that thing. And like, oh, I did it or whatever.
Yeah. But I feel like that's too, like you have to look into it too much at that point.
I don't know, man. I mean, it wasn't super clear. And I think this is the thing with this movie.
I mean, there's the second thing too with, so essentially, as the movie goes on, we get to see, kind of how the dad grows, and he's like a little bit better father, and the mom's a little bit better mother, and we're just seeing their interactions with everyone, and just seeing this family grow and like get closer and closer. And as it's going on, the little boy keeps seeing like having these surreal moments where he sees his sister from the future and whatnot. And and anyways, there's a point where he goes off and he's like been trying to learn how to ride a bicycle. Yeah, essentially.
That's for sure. But before that, I think he went back in time and he saw his like mom when he was younger, right?
Oh yeah. And he did hang out with the mom.
The reason I kind of glazed over that one is because I kind of fell asleep. And
I love that sequence.
Yeah, I was super tired, and it wasn't because I was bored. I was super tired, but I woke up and was like, I get the gist of it. He went back in time, met his mom, and yada yada, all this stuff. But
he just kind of learned like where he gets a lot of the things that he gets. Like he just learned that his mom was a cool person as a child, like but he doesn't realize it's his mom either.
Yeah, but we do because we're not fucking idiots.
Exactly. Yeah,
and then there's a scene where his dad is trying to teach him how to ride a bike or whatever, and
so. Then from that whole like him having difficulty riding his bike, and he got jealous of these older boys riding without training wheels, and he's trying to learn how to ride without it, but he's like forcing himself to do it on his own, and he's just having a hard time. He winds up having this sequence later on where he meets somebody who builds like motorcycles and like giant plane engines and stuff, and
super hot guy.
Exactly. And then they ride off on a motorcycle. He realizes that this dude has like a limp, and they go off on a motorcycle and go and ride horses, and they like have this super fun time together. But it's like, it's a handsome man he must be in like his 20s or so. And then the little kid And then they're looking at a photo album later, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's Dad." It's like, "That's not Dad. Like, that's Dad though. Like, I met him."
Yeah.
And he had called his great grandpa Dad in this like little sequence thing, and the dude didn't correct him or whatever. So that's where it leads me to believe that like he already knew what this guy looked like before he had ever seen a picture of him. And like he's just calling him Dad because he had called him that before and didn't get corrected. And I'm like, okay, so these things are happening. They're not happening necessarily with the other people, like coming back from the future or from the past or whatever, but he's experiencing it in some kind of an alternate timeline type thing.
Yeah.
Because there's this special place where that kind of happens with his entire family, whether or not they're all aware of it or just him.
No, and I hear what you're saying, but like the way, again, like there's just different ways to look at it, you know?
Yeah.
And the way I see it is like he ends up in this new place. He's frustrated because he can't ride the bike or whatever because he ends up falling, and he's upset with his father, and he ends up in this, this mechanic shop, and there's just some man out there or whatever, and he can see that he's obviously scared, and he's like asking for his father. He calls him Dad, and it's obviously like, oh, I'm not your fucking dad or whatever, you know? And then later, he does this whole experience that we were talking about where he gets to ride a horse first, and then he rides a motorcycle. It's really, really
I
nice.
think it's the opposite, but yeah. I can't remember.
I think he rode the horse. He took him to ride a horse, and then they turned into a motorcycle or whatever.
Okay, yeah. And then they went into like a city or something, yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, look on the horizon or some shit like that. And, it was really good. And there's a bit afterwards, like he eventually learns how to ride a bike. He's super proud of himself. And then he's looking at the photo album, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's fucking Dad or whatever. And he's like, oh, that's not your dad. That's my grandpa or whatever, right? He's like, he passed away last year. He was, and then she starts saying shit like that. He like, he's like, oh yeah, he was in the military, and he hurt his leg, and all this stuff starts adding up. And then I thought about like, okay, so there are plenty of times where children are told things, and then they know them, and they don't know where they were called them.
And they forget it,
or there's like, there's situations where like, oh my God, and then parents forget telling them or some shit like that. They're like, oh, she said something that my daughter who passed away said the same thing, or, they use the same toys. And you're just like, it's always this like this blurriness essentially. So I see a lot of this stuff as essentially parenting, there's just like, it's not like, and not everything is in stone. A lot of things are just kind of like glazed over. Things like, and these things happen to me or have happened to me in the past when it's like, I forget things, or I know of some knowledge that I think is completely wrong. She talks about like, the moment where like, and this comes out later in the movie where she's like, oh yeah, I remember when Grandpa said that the way he like ended up marrying Grandma was she beat him at a race or whatever. And she's like, what? He's like, and someone, who told you that? Like, oh, Uncle so-and-so. And they're like, that's totally wrong. There's no way that's true because like Grandpa had a bum leg or whatever. And there's no fucking way that, he would ever beat him in a race. It's like, oh, okay. So, and that's like something that she was told, and something and then later on we see like the results of that, actually, like how that played out.
Yeah.
And so there's just like, I don't like, that's why I'm in the position where I'm like, I don't know how much of this is fantasy, how much of this is just daydreaming. I like the thought of it being.
Well, that's kind of that's the hard thing about it. I feel like as a film that could appeal to more people, it's easier for it to be things that have actually happened or are happening in like kind of a fantastical way than it all being just actual things that like a child is imagining that the parents like extrapolating. Oh, parents just tell kids shit and then they forget it and they're repeating it. But I feel like as a parent, you say like, oh, remember I told you this? Like you'll always say like, remember I told you this, like pay more attention, that kind of stuff. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, I get what you're saying. But she did kind of say like, remember, like we went to his funeral. This is your grandfather, or whatever. And then later on, like it's just like pieces of stuff that you collect over time. Like
but that being said, like remember this is your grandpa is like, well, that's a 20-year-old man, and that's like an 80-year-old man. Like you're not going to realize the difference.
What I'm saying is that like, yeah, the fantastical element's a lot easier. I think that this movie could be deeper than that. There is more to it. Like, that's the way I'm seeing it. Doesn't mean that it is that way. It doesn't mean your way's right.
Yeah.
It just means that that's how I extrapolate this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that being said, like, I feel like if a movie is really deep and introspective like that, where it's trying to give you these really raw, real life things in a more fantastical way, and then just like try to show you very slyly like what the actual thing happening behind it is, I feel like that's it's hard to make such a big movie that would do that. So regardless of how he intended it to be interpreted. I feel like the fact that there are more elements to it, like it can be taken different ways. I feel like he probably just intended it as a surface level kind of thing, but maybe subconsciously like realized that's some stuff that he did like just in his life. Like as he was writing it, he might have accidentally stumbled into it because it didn't feel as well crafted as it would be if that were the situation where he's trying to make it seem like these are things that the child knows or whatever it is that happens in a real parent's life.
No, yeah, and
does that make sense?
And that's your opinion.
Yeah,
you know? And in my opinion, I think it is deeper than that.
You think that he did do this all on purpose, and that was the plan the whole time?
I think so. In my opinion, that's how I see it.
Because I feel like he should have made it more clear if that was the case, and that's my issue with these trying to find a little bit deeper meaning within one plot. Is just because if somebody's making it more difficult to understand, I feel like that's not necessarily the cause of sloppy writing, but it shouldn't be so like, I mean, that's just up to interpretation, man. It should be a little bit more like, okay, well, there are like two ways to interpret it. And with this, I feel like there's so many different.
But I'm saying if that's the way that I interpret it, I mean, that's how I did, you know, like it doesn't matter if
I'm not saying your opinion's wrong.
No, but I'm saying like, it doesn't matter if he successfully did that, like if he intentionally wrote this way and people didn't get it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think I did get it that way. Mm-hmm. Then that's just, you know, I mean, it's still a great movie. You know, it's still like, it still comes across like it's still a fantastical world. And I feel like all his movies have these huge fantastical elements, you know, and I just think that in other movies, it's more clear whether the elements are like in your face or not. And I feel like this movie just kind of blurs the line in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It 100% does. But yeah, I just don't know how much he intended it to seem like it might actually be happening versus like it being fake. Like maybe in his head he was just like, these are very clearly fake, and then it didn't come across as clear as it was for him or whatever. Because I think that's my whole thing. Because even like you were saying, like there are some parts that definitely don't feel like it's real, and there were a lot of parts that didn't. But then there's a couple of big crossover points where, you know, are another example. The way that his mom got some shit like done, she put a note in her mom's shoe or dad's shoe, I don't remember, for like a while until she finally got like whatever it was she was asking for.
I think she put a note in her grandfather or grandmother's shoe.
Grandma's shoe for
that she wanted a cat or whatever. And they gave her a stuffed cat or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And little boy learned how to do that. So he asked for something by putting notes in his mom's shoe for a while. And she's like, that's smart. Like, where'd you learn that? He's like, I don't know. So I don't know, just, you know, those little parts make it seem like it was really trying to blend these fantasy elements with like real stuff that was going on. And this boy is learning from different parts of his family's past and future. But maybe it's just fucking some shit his parents said. Like,
I don't know. Like, I imagine that like, I believe, you know, that children's imaginations are way more vast than humans are, right? Like, I mean, not humans, I'm sorry, because they're different creatures than adults, you know? So like, so I just give that a lot more incentive when it's just like, wow, why is this kid like believing he's seeing all this shit, you know?
Sure.
Like, and I just like, oh, cool. Cause like, just kids have a wilder imagination than us. And again, like I'm not saying not, you know, it's all fantasy or it's not fantasy. It's just, I'm saying it's really blurred in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's not very clear. And it doesn't make me like, it doesn't like lessen the fact that like, if I make this guy and I talk to him like, hey man, he's like, no man, I intended this all to be like, is fantasy as fuck or whatever. Then I'm like, oh cool, I'm wrong or whatever. But I just think that, the way the story's told it's intentionally not the clearest. And I that's what I really liked about it.
Oh yeah, no, that's also what I liked about it too. But yeah, anyways, it was a fucking great movie. All the fantasy sequences were the strongest points of the movie to me because it showed a lot more like raw emotion and thought from this toddler than his sequences of just getting frustrated. Getting frustrated with his little sister, not getting as much attention as he wants. And, you know, there's a huge issue near the end where he doesn't get to wear his yellow pants and he has to wear his blue pants and he's fucking pissed. And that leads into the best surreal sequence.
Yeah, he goes to...
it was horrifying, too.
He goes to a train, right? He gets on a train and he ends up seeing future himself, right?
Yeah,
and,
so he's like chilling at the train stop.
And it's not... and it doesn't tell us then that it's...
No, we don't know what it is.
But we can... I mean, you're just like, huh, I wonder if it's some cool kid or whatever, and they're talking or whatever, and
You know it's somebody from his life, but you don't know
who exactly. Yeah, and so he ends up getting on the train again, and he ends up going to some really weird like train station.
He goes to Tokyo, and he goes to essentially it's like New York's version of the subways.
It was like over the top. It was like it was like some like weird like futuristic world where like people are like taking weird train stations. Some of the trains just because he's a little kid who loves trains.
He fucking loves them.
And he's just like he's naming them by like what their model is and what they're called and where they're going.
He was trying to suggest that his little sister be named trains.
Yeah. And he ends up in this new station, and he's just like, I've never seen that bullet train before, and that's
right. And it looks like kind of weird and furry and stuff.
And he's just like really confused, and he's lost. Obviously, he's lost in this place, and he needs help. And so he ends up going to the Lost and Found, right?
Yeah.
And he needs help from some really weird looking, who, I don't know, he must have been, he obviously wasn't human, some sort of robot thing, who was fucking awesome. Who, looked, the animation for it looked really different. It was really stylized.
Yeah, it felt like it was straight from like a Salvador Dali.
Yeah, from a painting. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was one of my favorite parts of the movie. He's interacting with this non-human thing who's just trying to help him. The only way he knows how is like, look, give me the information I need. And he's a little kid. He's like, I don't know my mom's name. My mom's name is Mom. My dad's name is Dad. I don't know, where I live or anything. And so like, there's just also this little puppet thing kind of that's a smaller stopwatch. Who's like also like getting frustrated and bouncing around. It's like a really great scene. He's like, look, man, if you're lost kids go to the fucking lost zone. So get on the lost train. And they send him to this really scary looking train or whatever.
Yeah, it's horrifying. It's that fuzzy train from before. It's like a dark grayish brown fuzz, and then all of the windows on all of the doors and whatnot, they're like this bright red bubble.
And then he goes inside of it for a bit, and like the chairs are like skulls, and they all turn at him, and
a bunch of skeletons all stare at him, and it's like red, and it's got this like creepy kind of hum to it.
It was like a really spooky black episode of Black Bible,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so then he's like running away from the train because he's like pulling him in.
Yeah.
And then he sees his sister, like Mirai, right?
Yeah, and she's a baby in this sequence, so she's just kind of like fucking crawling around.
And so he goes and like tries to save her or whatever because that's what he fucking does. And he eventually yells like, I know who the fuck I am. I'm Mirai's big brother. And then it's like, oh cool, you're Mirai's big brother. Oh, fuck, no problem. I got
Easy
you.
Peasy. All right,
we'll
go
help
here.
you out. Yeah.
You're
and
good.
so then Mirai shows up, and she
like future Mirai.
future Mirai shows up and it's like, hey, what's up, you little shit? Oh, let's go fly. And they go fly away. They go big Peter Pan on everybody. And then we go to this really very reminiscent of like, Summer Wars, where like it's this like some sort of network, and it's all everything's white, and there's all these like lines and stuff.
Yeah,
it's very not eHarmony.
Digimon.
No, it's what's it called? Ancestry.com, where like this is
family tree,
right? Like, and there's like there's all these leaves or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, this tree is like this hub of every line of our family. Like
so he's like flying with a bird somehow suddenly.
It's like you go to any leaf and you'll find something. Like right now, like you're in my time period or whatever. Like what we need to do is find yours. And they're flying around. They see a bunch of little snippets. This is a really cool part. Really,
oh man, this was the best. Like this whole sequence of him going to the train station, to him like finding all of his ancestry and whatnot.
Yeah, super strong,
amazing.
Yeah. It's like that last arc of the last fucking act of the movie. Super strong. And he's like these sequences he sees like some are really simple. Like he sees his dad like struggling to ride a bike in middle school or whatever, or elementary school, and he's like collapsing, and it's like super sad. And you're like, oh, fucking dad, what a loser.
And that's why dad couldn't teach him how to ride a bike well,
that's why
because
dad
he fucking couldn't figure it out.
I don't remember. I know that another one was he's seeing like grandpa.
Yeah,
like fucking
that race.
No, before that, he was like the ship explodes. Remember? And he's like,
that's right.
He's like yelling, and he's swimming away after the ship got attacked during the war.
They see bodies in the water.
Oh, it's fucking dark. And then we see this race element where like he challenges grandma to a race.
He's got his leg that he's limping,
And they race, and she stops midway, and he like keeps running, and he gets to the very end, and she's just like comes up, he's like collapsed, exhausted.
It's like, I knew I would fucking beat you.
He's like, whoa, man, he's like, you were really fast. I was worried for a second that you beat me. I'm glad I finished or whatever. And then like now they go, and she obviously finds him charming, and that's the
sweet
history of like how they end up like together or whatever. I don't know if there's another one. Maybe there is. I can't remember, but I remember those three really like stand out in me. Eventually they end up in like the house where she is now an adult, and they see like grown up Mirai or whatever. No, grown up. What's his name? Kun?
Yeah.
Yeah, grown up,
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, interacting or whatever. And she's like, do you know who that is? And he's like, of course I know who that is. I'm like, I don't think you know who that is, dog. That's future you. You're hot as fuck. And then she's like, look, man, like, go back to your time, enjoy life, be cool. I love you, even though fucking you're shit.
Yeah.
And they do. And then he goes back to time. And this is the scene where, like, I think he's in the washroom or whatever.
Yeah, he like crawls out of the bathtub or some shit.
And then like his like yellow pants get spit at him. And he just like, he could put them on. He decides not to. And then he has like a bonding moment with Mirai, baby Mirai. He gives her a banana and they're like, hey, we're friends now. Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
And then they go on a family fucking trip. They go camping or some shit like that. And the parents have like this really like, it's a really small moment, but I really enjoyed it. They have like this moment where they're talking about like, hey man, like we've adulted the fuck up. Like we're parents fucking out like hella hard. And like, yeah. And then the dad's like, the mom's like, yeah, you kind of sucked. And the dad's like, yeah, you kind of sucked too. And
like, oh man, what happened to us? You're so much nicer. Like, you shut the fuck up.
Fuck you, I'm nice as fuck. Yeah. And I mean, I thought I was like, just like that little moment was like, wow. Because I feel like
we did get to see them in college for a moment, I believe, in one of the memories.
Maybe, yeah. I think the biggest thing that I take away from this movie is like there's a lot of really good like development, even though like some things are really small. Like even that little bit where like the two of them are just talking back and forth. Like I feel like I understand the parents.
Yeah.
Like they really struggled with like having their second child and like they have their marital issues or whatever. Like I mean they're not like super serious, but you can see them. You can see this like the struggle between the two of them, and you see at the very end like there's this resolution. Like like hey, we're gonna be okay. Like we're gonna be fine, and we're getting better, and it's because of the kids or whatever. And I feel like the kid grows up essentially. Like he becomes like, okay, this is just kind of life. Like I'm over it now. Like
even though as a teenager he's like super fucking moody.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like
which cracks me up.
All teenagers are angsty as fuck. Yeah. But he still loves his sister. Even as a teenager, he's like, hey, if you're gonna eat that, sit down. You don't want to get a fucking stomach ache. Yeah. Like what? I'm like, fucking dick. Like, hey, but he's obviously cares about her. Yeah. And it's just like this really like the kid didn't really grow too much in the movie. Like he's still a toddler. The baby has gotten bigger, but he has matured and real. And there's like I think it's like that that snap that some kids have, because not all kids have it. But when like you have a sibling and you have a sibling, like younger or older. Eventually you realize like, hey, this thing's around. Like I can't keep just complaining and crying and
I don't remember ever having that
really
issue.
And I did. I feel like I was, because my brother and I are super close in age or whatever.
Well, you guys are closer. I don't know.
Way closer in age. I think like a year and a half separates us or whatever. But I do remember at one point like being like, I don't know how old I was, but I remember seeing him and seeing me and being like, okay, cool, I can't also be the crying baby. Like I have to. Mom's busy with, well, how's he gonna take care of both of us or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. This is my younger brother. He is now the baby of the family. I've just got to get over it or whatever. Yeah. And it just kind of happened. And I feel like this is what happened with, Kun. He's just like, okay, cool. Time to grow the fuck up. I mean, not like time to go fucking do taxes, but like, time to not be like a shithead all the time. Right. Yeah. Visually fucking
stunning.
Gorgeous.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't know what studio did it, but fucking hats off to them. It's always fucking great, right? It looked fucking out of this world. I think at the very end,
it's like Tohei.
At the very end, he had an interview. By the way, super normal guy.
Yeah, he's the most normal fucking director of anime that there's ever been. I think.
And when we mean normal, we don't mean like, oh my god, it was just the bare minimum. It wasn't. It's like, oh, he's not super awkward. And
he looks like a dude that you could see on the street and have like a conversation with.
He was like, hey, this is my work, and I like it a lot, and here it is. And it wasn't like him like smoking a cigarette or looking away or hiding his face. It was just like, oh wow, a person. Good for him.
There's somebody who had like a weird lisp or something. Yeah, no, everything was normal.
Or like super buck teeth and like a fucking hump on his back.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't haggard. He was well.
He was like an Asian guy. He was like an Asian guy that made movies.
It's like, holy shit, this guy is my favorite guy. Just because he's normal.
And he was talking about, what was he saying? He was saying that that this movie has, there's blended of like CG in it or whatever. He says he's really happy with the idea that 2D is like traditional, keep it traditional. Yeah. But he says that in all his movies, this is a movie that has now the most like connection or hybridation or like fucking added bits of CG. Yeah. And he feels like sometimes if it's CG's done so well, you can't even notice it. And there was CG in it. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of it was done because you and I are really fucking no polygon pictures over here for us.
Critique the fuck out of CG.
And I feel like the CG in this movie was used very well. The 2D was solid and the CG was like at no point ever fucking bugged me. At no point was this like fucking CG. God damn it. I wasn't
I feel like there was some kind of like a turning point in anime where they were like, hey, motorcycles, we can't draw them anymore, guys. Like, we can't fucking do it.
What is
because
it? Is it
they
Kino's
always
Journey?
Yeah, Kino's Journey is a good example. There's also the like girls last tour or whatever.
Like, bro, you draw on a motorcycle? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Like, nah. Even like the old Kino's Journey, I'm pretty sure was a 3D one.
Yeah, CG one. Yeah. It's really funny. I never put that together, but
that's the one thing that like they do it sometimes with people on bicycles too.
Yeah,
and they used to draw
fireworks. Remember fireworks?
Yeah, of course I do. But they used to draw people on bicycles, and it looked fucking great.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
But now, they're using a lot of CG for people that are riding.
I think the most recent bicycle I remember is fucking Steins Gate. The chick that rides a bicycle on that one.
Yeah,
pretty solid. I think that's drawn too. So
yeah, it is
killing it. But yeah, so visually great, obviously. Like I said, I was saying earlier, character developments are great. I actually really liked Kun just because.
Yeah.
He's really annoying. He's just like he's like a toddler, and what I saw, you and I laughed a lot in the movie. I feel like
there were such funny parts.
There were just moments where it wasn't like intentionally like
you laughed the most at the slapstick ones, yeah.
But they're not like intentionally just like this is a good joke. It was more like, hey, look at this, because kids are essentially like what's the word? They're not as coordinated. So he would do stuff that would make him get hurt, and I'd be like, what a fucking.
Because he doesn't pay attention. He'll like fall over a couple of times, and there was one time where he got hit in the face with
like a doorstop kind of thing.
Yeah. Essentially like the little like
gate that comes up at a ferry thing.
Yeah.
What's funny is that like what I really appreciate about Kun is like whoever did the character animation is like it made me legitimately feel like this was a child. Like the way he moved, the way he ran, he was like
what he said. He never had any like intelligent thoughts. No, he just kind of said shit that
very
kids say.
Toddler-esque things, and then he lived for some reason the dad decided, who's the architect, to build a very step house, like everything had steps to it, and it's like, well, that's how a kid would take the steps. He'd take them a little slower pace and like kind of like sideways.
1 2 1 2 1 2
exactly.
Instead of just like 1 2 1 2.
There's also like a moment where he's like lining up fish when he's talking to his dad, like little fish crackers or whatever. And I don't know why the fuck, but I got such a kick out of seeing that because I was like, you know what? Fucking kids do that.
Yeah,
kids
would just be like, I'm doing weird shit now, but this is how I do weird shit. And you're like, but why, kid?
Exactly. There's some sort of order to it. There's like, yep, these crackers are going to be lined up, and just cuz. And like my nephew used to do that when he was younger. He still kind of does weird stuff. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck's your deal, man? Can't you just like be normal?
Well, the blues are better than the others. And it's like, wait, but why though?
But why are the blues in triangles and why are the yellows in circles? Like, cuz that's how you eat them or whatever.
That's just how it is.
So I just really enjoyed as like for an animation point, like just seeing that this like the how much work they put into like making it feel like authentic. And again,
these characters felt very genuine.
Super annoying kid, but it was hats off for them for me to be like, wow, I watched the whole movie about this annoying toddler, and at no point was I like, I fucking hate this kid. I was just like, this kid sucks.
Yeah, I was just like, what an annoying piece of shit. All right, let's see what's up.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want to spoil my favorite part of the movie, but I laughed very hard during that like final family tree sequence. So get fucking hyped about the laugh train. It's okay. We'll talk about it off the show.
We will. I don't know. I guess, I'm not a favorite part. Fucking him falling on his face was hilarious.
Yeah, I know you like that a lot.
There was just a bit where he fell so fucking hard. It was just like he fell off the steps because he was fucking frustrated, and I was just like, "Yeah, man, you suck."
It was well done.
I really liked it, and I, you and I were saying earlier about how people online some are rating this and in their rankings of his movie specifically.
Yeah,
you came out of it and you said you like it more than this, but less than that.
It's pretty in the middle for me.
I really like it. I think it's probably my favorite movie that he's made so far. I think it's like obviously the most recent, so it's like the technology and visually it's just stunning or whatever. I really like the story, like the animation. I think it's my favorite. I could go back and watch the other ones, but I think this is at the top right now.
Yeah, as a mother, I have to say that Wolf Children is my favorite.
You know what I was thinking about? Maybe because I was like, that you and I jokes like, we'll never be a mother. We'll never be a mother. The thing is, I will be a father, or whatever, and that makes me super happy. Well, come on, heaven permit that people let you and I adopt. I will be a father.
Yeah, okay. Well,
maybe it's because I'm closer to that part of my life where like I eventually will be starting a family.
Yeah.
This was like it's kind of weird, but like my heart was just like really swelled up with all the like the thoughts of just all of this. And I was like, wow, this is really, it's really fucking. I'm just sitting there like, I could have a fucking kid. Yeah, kids aren't that bad. And then like the movie ends like, fuck kids. I'm never gonna have a kid in my fucking life. They're gonna ruin my fucking. Just take my youth and take all my money.
But man, as a single mother, I have to say, Wolf Children.
Wolf Children's really solid.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. And then Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and then Mirai, and then Boy and the Beast, and then Summer Wars,
and then Digimon the movie.
Yeah,
because that one just gets to the very end.
Yeah, it just always does. Don't worry about it. But honestly, I think that they each of the movies excel in their own ways, telling different kinds of stories. I think that. A personal opinion, I don't know how you feel about it, but The Girl Who Leapt Through Time had like the best crying I've ever seen in anime.
What scene though? Because there's a lot of crying
where she's fucking trying to chase after him, and she like falls off of her bike and gets the shit beaten out of her, and she's just screaming.
And the train's
and
coming or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good crying scene. You know what's a better crying scene though? Mob's running. He's really tired. He's in the fucking body improvement club, and he's just melting, and he's crying. That's the best crying
he wasn't
ever.
Crying.
Oh, I have a picture.
He was just sweating.
He was for sure tearing up, dog. I don't know. That I haven't thought about it. I guess I never ranked them like that, like best crying in anime.
Oh yeah, no, best crying in anime. Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Come at me.
Come at me.
Come at me.
I want someone to knock me up like, yo, shithead, I heard you talking stuff about the best crying in anime. Have you seen that episode of fucking Gurren Lagann or whatever? And you're like,
of course I
have. But like, this one's better though.
Listen, man, it's just better. I don't know.
Dog, it's just my opinion. Can you leave my house? Like, I live here and you're not allowed to be here.
You're allowed to be here.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't like steal shit.
What'd you find?
I mean, it's in my photos. It's got it way up there. I didn't want to look for it. I'll show it to you afterwards or whatever to look at it. But yeah, no, I guess, I mean, yeah, it's a good crying scene.
Yeah. But I don't know. Each movie does something different, and I think that that's really great about his movies. You know, they have little nods to each other. Like this one very specifically had a nod to Wolf Children with him turning into a dog, and it also had a nod to Summer Wars with the whole like family tree type thing. They had this just it looked like they were online in that like virtual game or whatever. And yeah, I don't know. I really appreciate all of his work, and he's somebody who just seems like a genuine dude. He's not like a fucking freak or anything. He just seems like a good guy. I thought
it was funny because, you know, we stick around for the Fathom events with the interviews at the end, and he was like talking about like his movie. And he's like, yeah, it's one of those epic movies. And I was like, Sierra's like, pretentious prick calling this movie epic, like it's the best thing. I was like, hey, it's pretty epic.
Yeah. No, but well, he was just trying to say it like
it's one of those like fantastic. It's like it's not like a hey man, this is the Digimon movie or whatever, you know. It's just like this is the new whatever movie by So and Face or whatever. No, what I wanted to say was he was talking about like how he came up with the story for that movie or whatever. He was saying that like because he just recently became a father for the second time. Yeah. And he was saying that I think it was his son actually, right? His son said that he had a dream where he met his big his sister, but she was big, and he's like, what do you mean big, like a giant baby? Which would have made this a very different movie.
But also that like question totally makes sense. And
then she's just like, no, like she was like older. It's like, oh cool. And so this kind of like inspired him. That's where the inspiration came from. And he was saying like, you know, there's people in the movie who are inspired by things like the grandfather in the movie is inspired by his father-in-law, who was like in the war and worked on a boat and, you know, worked on making plane engines and shit like that. So
yeah, so he had a lot of personal ties to this film, which I thought was great.
And then Cierra leans over and she goes, does this fucker have any original ideas? like he stole all the ideas. Like, damn, wow, this asshole can't write for a damn.
Oh my god, sometimes stories are so good they write themselves, you know.
No man, I really enjoy this movie. I think it's solid. I think everybody should go out and see it. It's just one of those movies that, you know, like, you know, the director's good, so the movie has to be good, right? Like, yeah. So far, it's par for the course. I feel like we can't really say that about Westerners. Maybe because we're biased, but like, I feel like, you know, there's Tarantino movies, but we can't be like, yeah, all the Tarantino movies are amazing.
People do say that.
You know, but people are fucking wrong.
Yeah.
The fucking intro to fucking Hateful Eight was 30 minutes long. I feel like we talk about that all the time on the podcast.
Fuck the Hateful Eight. At the end, we're like, Channing Tatum wasn't worth it. Channing Tatum wasn't worth it.
It's super funny because it's just like the new movie with Channing Tatum. Yeah, fucking 2 scenes or whatever. And he gets his balls blown off or whatever. I don't fucking remember how the movie ends. I think it's shot in the head. No, what I'm saying is...
Oh, but hang on 1 second. Best fucking director of all time. The director of 8th Grade. My boy Bo.
So far, he's
flawless.
So far, he's nailed it. Because like every movie he's made has been amazing.
Just a masterpiece.
That was a really good movie, though.
It is. It's on Amazon Prime. Download that now.
for free, or do you have to buy it?
For buying it, download for free on buying. Good night.
It's on Prime, but not Prime Video. Like,
Yeah, whatever. I haven't looked it up yet. I just know it's on Amazon now.
It's a really good movie. God, is that cringy? I don't think I can watch it again.
I kind of want to watch it again just for the dab,
Gucci.
the principal dabbing.
Oh yeah. You guys all want superlatives. Dab.
Just fucking.
It's a really good movie.
It's
But
great.
what I'm saying is, like, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like you and I have. There's a bunch of directors that we talk about, and we're just like, man, everything they make, pretty much love it. Like, you know, you can't go wrong with it. And this is one of those guys where, like, anything he does, I'm really excited to see it. And,
Who else?
Hayao Miyazaki. Right?
Okay, yeah, obvious.
Makoto Shinkai.
Yeah, okay, you're good there.
And then I even really like the homie that did a fucking Paprika and.
Yeah, he was fucking
What's
great.
the one called? The other one, the blue, Perfect Blue.
Yeah,
the guy that passed away.
Satoshi
Yeah.
Kon.
Yeah, his stuff, everything I've seen from him, I really enjoyed. You know.
Yeah.
So
Also, the dude who made Tatami Galaxy and Devilman Crybaby.
fuck yeah, that guy's solid.
I don't remember his name because I suck dick.
I'm just gonna get him tatted all on my chest. All those
I'm
guys,
just gonna
little,
say,
little pictures of them.
Yeah.
And what it is like I don't know. Maybe it's because you and I really like anime, where we can like do that and be like. But I don't. I can't say that about like yeah, man, fucking. James Cameron, 10 out of 10, or J.J. Abrams, or fucking. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But check this movie out.
Hang on.
Name a director that
I can't remember his name. But you're gonna agree with me. Scott Pilgrim and Baby Driver and Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright
fucking kills it, dude.
Yeah, Edgar Wright's solid. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Fucking,
All right, well-
fucking, it's broken. It was a proven fact, and now it's now broken.
Yeah, I'm like, you will agree, and if you don't agree, fuck you.
No, he makes solid movies. You know, he was on the Ant-Man movie, and they took him off.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
That's why there's bits in the movies where it's like
it feels a little bit different.
It feels very Edgar Wright or whatever. And then just like what do you think about what's his name? The guy that did Fantastic Mr. Fox. He does all those. Wes Anderson.
He doesn't win everything.
Does he not do? Yeah,
but I love him.
I don't know. People, I like his stuff too. But people are just like, man, you got to see the Royal Tenenbaums. Or like,
I love the Royal Tenenbaums.
The Grand Budapest Hotel. I was like, yeah,
love that one.
Like, that's fine, or whatever. But like,
Moonrise Kingdom's good, and Isle of Dogs might be his like.
Most,
maybe
really?
it's his best one. I don't know.
I don't think so.
What do you think?
I mean, I like. I'm biased. I like. No,
Fantastic Mr. Fox was like one of the lower ones for me.
That's what I really like the movie. They just like the animation
around Steve Zissou.
I'll tell you something though. Like Isle of Dogs looked fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
not the greatest story in my opinion.
No, I just had so much fun with it, and like the shots were great. I mean, I think that's how I wind up feeling about everything. But the Royal Tenenbaums for me is like top of
way
the
up
list.
there. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I still don't think I can universally say that. Wes Anderson.
So. Oh no.
But fucking Edgar Wright, you're right.
Yeah,
killer.
What about Woody Allen? No.
Fucking what's his name? Keep walking, punk. You goddamn Clint Eastwood. Any Clint Eastwood of his killer.
But he's not a director.
No, he is. He directed Gran Torino.
Okay.
He's directing this new one where he's a mule. I think it's called The Mule.
Yeah.
And then didn't he direct $1 Million Baby or whatever?
No, he did that one?
I think so. I don't know. I'm just going to say that. Hey, right
Whatever.
here, podcast. This is Wrong Podcast.
But there are like 10 other movies he's made that
they're
like
all
nobody's
trash.
ever heard of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but he does direct now.
Yeah.
And he plays the same character. Disgruntled, old, racist white man.
Nailed it. Every single time he nails it.
Okay, cool, guys. I think we've been talking long enough. But real talk, I like Mirai. You like Mirai, right?
So good. He's
check
such
it
a good
out.
director. Also, if you do like his work, check out Funimation's website and go ahead and purchase all of his movies in a collection. It's the Mamoru
Hosoda?
Mamoru Hosoda
yeah.
collection. Hosoda always fucks with me. I don't know why.
It's not like we're not being paid to tell you to buy it. Like, hey man, if you like his stuff, buy it. Support it.
Anyways, this episode's been sponsored by Funimation.
No, and also like we said, like if you missed the premiere of this, find it somehow. Watch it however you can, and then whenever the time comes and you can financially make sure that money gets to where it needs to be, do it, because that's what we do. That's what we try to do. So
man, Netflix should really pick this shit up.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing out here with the goddamn piano? Fucking anime and the fucking
Forest of the Piano and
fucking
Mask of the
Ico
Ancients
and fucking gay sword dude and
whale
fucking
boys
whale fish. Hey, but Violet Evergarden's pretty good.
Hey.
Fucking Saiki K, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get that shit off of my thread. I don't want that.
All right, man. Well, next week, I don't know what we're doing. We might be watching some shitty Netflix show. right?
Tune in to the shitty Netflix episode.
Yeah, so
Yay.
if you like our logo, hit up Aaron from TurbyTops.com. If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. It's Nasser and ASR. Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. You can find us on Instagram. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. You can find us on Twitter. Tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast Benefit.
And you can find us on the internet as Instant Ramen Podcast anywhere you want. Shoot us an email, instantRamenPodcast@gmail.com. We're your homies. We love you.
Yeah, let us know.
Tell us about how you would rank your Mamoru Hosoda. How would you rank his films?
Yeah, tell us if you agree or disagree with us, and tell us what your ranking is. And if you think the Digimon movie is the number one Mamoru Hosoda movie,
dude, nail it.
Fucking let us know. I also like to point out one important thing. I officially finished all the shitty Jawbreakers in your house.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll be taking my prize now.
All right, what's your prize?
I don't know.
What do you want?
Where's my medal? With
you can take anything in this room, but I have to stab you for it.
Your heart.
Okay, then I have to stab you for it.
It's fucking selfish. I'll just take my medal of my gold medal of a bunny mashing mochi. Thank you.
All right, you got it.
Cool. This is bye from Juan.
See you around from Chris.
Hey Trip, don't forget.
Ass.
Hey Trip, don't forget.
Just ass, man. Just can we end on ass for once?
Okay, we'll just end on ass.
All right.